with Harry Douglas.
I do believe these two guys, Donovan Mitchell, number one, and Darius Garland, they're going to be able to play together this season. I don't think Cleveland is going to trade Garland because of the simple fact that you have a head coach coming in now, Kenny Atkinson. And I'm pretty sure he probably presented a plan to ownership and general manager of the Cleveland Cavaliers to say, you know what, I'm going to find a way to make this work to coexist between these two phenomenal guards that we have, because you can't tell me that Darius Garland in the playoffs, that's his normal game. And this is a guy that I'm used to seeing taking over games, but I just felt like that confidence that he normally has was not there. We even seen it in that series versus the Boston Celtics. There were times where Donovan Mitchell had to go over there, hey man, I'm still going to pass it to you. I believe in you, shoot it, right? So that lets you know something wasn't right with Darius Garland. And I think Kenny Atkinson is going to do everything in his power to try to make sure that this backcourt plays at the best of their ability.
Texting enrolls you in recurring automated text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
Hey, Dan, how you doing? Haven't seen you around the gym for a while.
Yeah, I've really fallen off. Since I turned 40, I just don't get the results I used to get.
Could be lower testosterone.
Lower T.
Yeah, I went through it a while back. Once you hit 40, your body has less free testosterone. I got Nugenix Total T, and it's made a huge difference for me.
I've seen that ad on TV. Is it for real?
Oh, yeah. The key ingredient is something called Tesnor, which helps boost free and total testosterone levels to help you trim up and stay lean.
And it's made a difference for you?
Man, I feel like I'm in my 20s again, at work, in the gym, and in the bedroom.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles for people to try it for themselves?
Yeah, you just need to send them a text.
Text PRIDE to 42424 right now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T, the #1 selling testosterone booster at GNC. Plus, text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo, our most powerful fat incinerator ever, to help you get back into shape fast. Absolutely free. Text PRIDE to 42424. That's PRIDE to 42424.
Sportstar.com, San Antonio's Sports Center.
In the NBA, Lowry Markkanen rumors continue. Chris Haynes of the Bleacher Report is reporting that Spurs and the Warriors are the two teams still in the mix. Speaking of the Spurs, the California Classic is in Sacramento, starts July the 6th. The Spurs will open things up against the Hornets at 5:30 that Saturday afternoon. I'm Rob Thompson on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
From the studios of San Antonio Sports Star, reaching more sports fans than any station in South Texas. Welcome to the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson. This is 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Happy Friday, baby! Yeah!
Here we is. It's Friday.
Well, not for
Friday.
everybody, but it's a Rob and AJ kind of Friday. I can tell you that much. We are.
Today is expected to be the second busiest travel day in the history of the world.
What is going on with your camera situation?
I'm sorry.
Oh, is this camera out of?
I don't have it. I thought I had it on, and I was looking for the thing, but pay no attention to what's going on behind the wire.
Okay.
I saw today that today is expected to be the second busiest travel day in the history of the world.
As I get prepared to go to the airport.
Only to be passed by this Sunday.
Oh, I'll be at the airport again.
Then the busiest of all travel days in the history of mankind. I bid all of you good luck. And just do like I do. Just become, the moment you get dropped off at the airport, you are then, whether you are a bulldog or a puppy, a leaf on a street. And just remember, you can't force the airline to do anything. And if you go into it that way and go, I'm a leaf on a stream, baby, you are John Candy in Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, man. Whatever happens, just go with the flow.
Now, when you say busiest travel day, is that only air travel, or does that include
everything?
Road travel as well?
Certainly. Well, it's everything because, while inflation has been a bear, people have more money in their pocket now. And they're expecting lots and lots of flights and lots of driving. I think AAA said, the number of people traveling within 2 hours of their house is going to be a record, and it all starts today.
They have jacked up the prices on flights this weekend. I can tell you that much. I mean, it's absurd.
I can't wait. I know that AJ I'm going to go southern on you. Bless your heart. You've been having to go about 80 miles an hour here for a moment and gone through some stuff. We all deserve some time. So as you head off on the busiest day of travel, luckily it's a one hopper. You know, you're not going to get stuck someplace. And everybody else that's traveling, man, it's just going to be one of them days. You can feel it coming.
It is. What you've got big plans for the 4th? You are you're a red-blooded Texan. I'm sure we're gonna
explode
fire up
things.
some sort of grill. And
this
what are
is
we
the
doing?
first one, man. We're going back to the future. This is the first time in 30 years, my family, that we will celebrate the 4th of July without any of our children.
Good for you.
It's gonna, well, you know,
there's gonna be drinking, like
there will be, but that's not new.
There'll be loud sex.
That's not new. That's how we got all the other ones. That's how all the kids got here. Crazy number of kids born in February. Well, anyway, so we're gonna go back and buy fire. We're gonna do all the stuff that we used to do that was dangerous.
Okay, because you got to tell your kids, oh, we don't do that.
No, we didn't do that.
And so
we're going to be chugging Jack and firing Roman candles at each other.
Yeah, somebody's going to end up with like a missing eye and a missing
hiding
thumb.
Out in trees, camoed out, fighting with the whatever smoke bombs we've got. We're gonna go off this weekend, so I might come back without a finger or so. But good stories.
Are you familiar with a gal named Jess Pryles?
No, that name doesn't ring a bell.
Do you know, you grill a lot. You know the brand Hardcore Carnivore?
Oh, yeah. I love the rubs. Yeah, I've got several. I've got their Michelada rub that is as good as anything.
Okay, so she's the gal it's her company.
Okay, I know she is then. I didn't know that.
Hot Australian chick.
Yes. I know exactly what you're talking about.
She posted a recipe on Instagram the other day, and I'm going to try this. I think I'm going to do it this weekend. And you having that Blackstone, it's ideal.
I'm ready.
It's called grilled cheese hot dogs.
Okay, I'm in.
So she takes these sausages, cuts them in half, puts them on the flat iron, and then she sprinkles some cheese.
So what kind of sausage are we talking?
Now she's using. They have a Hardcore Carnivore.
Okay, so
brand
her brand
sausage.
So is it a pork or a beef?
I think it's pork.
Okay.
Although I think she has both. I'm guessing
it's probably a mix, but I'm just curious.
4th of July, she's probably using beef.
Okay.
That's the way to do it, right? All beef on the 4th. Although I am a fan of the pig sausage myself.
Nothing wrong with in fact, need a little bit of it.
So she puts down the cheese, the shredded cheese, and like starts to melt it, but then when it
starts to harden,
she flips it,
right?
And you know how there's some people like that when you do the keto, you make
the
taco
shells
out
of
of
cheese. Okay,
and those are really good.
Yeah,
but in this case, she puts that sausage on top of the cheese when it's almost done. Puts that whole thing into a bun. Puts like a green like a salsa, and then some jalapenos. And she uses like crema fresca on it. And I'm like,
that's the kind of dog I'm in.
That's what I'm in for. I don't like
just a boiled dog.
That's
boil
gross.
it in a submission.
If you boil a hot dog, I won't eat it. I'm out on it. Like I would rather put a hot dog. First of all, I don't like hot dogs unless they are like I like fancy hot dogs.
They have to be, yes.
That's where I am bougie when it's hot dog. Like when it comes to drinking beer, I like fancy beer, but you hand me a Lone Star Light, I'll drink a Lone Star Light. You hand me a boiled hot dog and put it on a white bread bun, I say
with ketchup.
Oh God, with ketchup, that's the worst.
It's a crime. It's a crime. If you're older than 4,
yes.
If you're older than 4, you don't eat that, man. That's
children eat.
Yeah, that's the equivalent of baby food.
You put ketchup on your hot dogs?
Don't.
No.
Good. All right.
No.
Good.
I do a lot of onions, though.
See, now
onions are good.
You have to. I'll be honest. I want my hot dogs kind of burnt,
overcooked.
I want them a little black on the edges. A lot of people don't like them that done. I do. I like them kind of. I like a little char on the edge, a little chew.
I need mine almost. Yeah. And it's funny because most meat I like it undercooked. I would prefer to have my meat like bleeding. Hot dogs, no, burn it burn it with fire, whatever. If I was gonna eat a microwaved hot dog,
it better explode.
It has to explode.
Yeah.
Like it has to be a mess in the microwave.
So a revelation for me, and this goes back to, the Aggie Texas thing. At the end of the day, all things fall back to Aggie Texas.
That's right.
The first Rose Bowl I went to, Texas was in it, and I had never had one of those Pasadena rolled and bacon hot dogs that everybody on the side of the road was selling. That was a revelation. That changed my life.
Yeah, listen, man, you can do some upscale hot dogs that are good.
And this was just dudes on the side of the road, and it was about as good a hot dog as to this day. I don't think I've ever had one, in the moment that tasted as good as it did.
But yeah, I don't like tradition. Like I could never be in that hot dog eating contest at Nathan's dog eating contest because
gross.
It's vile.
I can do a Chicago dog. It doesn't have to be, but those are dressed up. There's things to it. It's not just, but they don't char their dog. It's just it's got a snap to it, but it's not charred. But I can do it.
Listen, you pour enough mustard on something, I can probably fight my way through it.
So, okay, on that vein, and this is going to be a lot of barbecue talk today because it's certainly on my brain. Do you like a mustard barbecue sauce, like one of those low country South Carolina mustard sauces?
No, that's not for me.
I like it on pig. I like it on pork.
Oh, on pork, yeah. But I'm a smoky, spicy barbecue sauce.
So
guy
you like it spicy more than sweet?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. You're like a Sweet Baby Ray's kind of man.
That's the first sweet sauce that I ever liked, and then it became like crack to me. It got to the point, and I've had to back off where I couldn't get it sweet enough. I was adding brown sugar and even more honey.
Good Lord!
I'm telling you, I went too far the other direction. Seriously, and I got to the point where I was trying to get it, and I finally achieved it. I wanted enough sugar in my rib sauce to where I could get it to where it was glass. Where you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Where I could get that sauce to crunch when you bit into it, but it made the rib
it's like crystallized.
Yeah, it made the rib like a lollipop. I mean, it was so sweet. I enjoyed it, but it got to the point where everybody was like, you can back off the sugar.
Yeah, I can't do that. I do like some sugar on the pork is fine.
It helps, but I went too far. But I was chasing that perfect crust, and the only way you could do it is a sugar content of about 90%.
What I think and listen, I've traveled the world looking for the best barbecue sauce. The world, Rob.
I trust that.
I think Rudy's barbecue sauce is elite.
It is. It's a little watery for me, but yeah.
Like you say what you want about Rudy's, and I always call it the Whataburger of barbecue. It's like it's fast food barbecue, but it's for fast food. It's solid.
It's as good as you're going to find other than a sole proprietor is what I'll tell people.
I believe that. But their sauce is
peppery.
Yes, and that's how I like it. I like not the sissy sauce.
What do you think about Salt Lick then? See, I'm not a fan.
It's not for me. It's not for me.
I get it.
Their food isn't for me in general. Like it's not my kind of place.
Well, it was. I guarantee you, there was a moment in time that it was.
You know what I like about it? It's like all you can eat. Like they keep bringing it.
Yeah.
But I that's not
the one in Drippin' though. It's still a you got to go.
You have to go. You have to go once.
Yeah.
But I've been once, so I'm good.
But I don't. A lot of people have downgraded it over the years. I haven't downgraded as much as most.
It's a cool experience because the pit's in there, and you see what they're doing, and that's cool and all.
I like their sausage. I like the way that they do their ribs, but the sauce to me is a little bit. I don't know.
If
vinegary, maybe.
If I'm in the Austin area, it's like 25th on the list of places I'm going to go.
It's where if you're an Austin tourist. And you're coming to try barbecue for the first time, you're coming down from someplace that doesn't do it. Yeah, you're going to walk away from Drippin' and go, that's Salt Lick.
Yeah.
That's got to be the best in the world.
Yeah, but then if you go to Franklin or La Barbecue or Mickelwaite's or someplace like that, oh, maybe.
Now I get it. Yeah.
What was that place that we went to? But yeah, it's a cool experience. And if you got a bunch of people, it's a cool experience.
Yeah.
But do it once, you're good. But
it's kind of out in the middle of that field. It's like going to visit Stonehenge.
Yeah,
you just kind of pull up on it in the middle of this field outside of Drippin'.
But it's like they got like a winery out there now and stuff. It's a wild world. But yeah, I'm not even sure what I'm going to be eating for 4th of July, but I've got some food plans.
But I've
got some reservations, but I don't know what I'm going to be eating off the grill. But I am going to try those hot dogs or the sausages, the grilled cheese sausages. So that's my only plan. I don't know what else, but that's going to happen. I'll let you know how it works.
We've got ribs and brisket and all kinds of things.
You're starting up a brisket today?
The brisket. Well, I'm trying to decide: do I want to start it early and pull it off late tonight and let it rest, or start later this evening and just pull it off and rest it into the afternoon? I haven't decided. I've got a 16-pounder. It's going to take some time.
Yeah. Did you? How much brisket did you do before you had a pellet grill?
A fair amount. Before that, I had a box smoker.
Okay.
That. It was the first Traeger.
Itself?
Yeah, it was the first Traeger. It was a set and forget kind of thing.
Did you ever cook with like an offset where you had to tend the
that
fire?
Was the first thing. The way I told my boys is I don't want you to learn on a Traeger, and you're not going to learn on a box. I still have my offset. My kids will learn on the offset because it's kind of like when you're learning to golf, you need to walk. Don't ride a cart. You need to learn the feel of the course, and that's just how you learn the game. I want them to learn to barbecue the right way, understand heat and the principles of smoke and maintaining your charcoal and doing the things before it's like learning to drive standard before you get in an automatic. And that's how I've taught them. So I kept that stuff around.
But it's so nice to be able to just set it.
Yeah.
And put the.
But I want them to know the principles just in case.
Yeah, I'm with you. But it is nice to put the meat on at night and just go to sleep and wake up and it's done.
Yeah,
it's
hardly fair, and that's why I looked down on the pellet boys forever. When Minix got his, I was like, yeah, that's for the rooks, the amateurs. Until you get one, I'm cooking a brisket as we speak right now.
109er says 16-pound brisket cost you $500.
Dude, it was not cheap.
Yeah,
Tri-County's got good price. Briskets come way down.
Oh, it has.
Oh, so head over to Tri-County. Good deals to be had. And then we'll be talking specials today.
And by the way, brisket prices in Texas better than they are in some parts of the world. I'll tell you that much.
So it's a good time to actually buy a few and put in the freezer.
Yeah, God, I don't ever do that because it just takes so long to.
Well, it's like getting a turkey. Yeah, you got to plan a week ahead.
I don't have time for all that. I want it now. I'm already going to spend 10 hours smoking the damn thing. I want it now.
Truth.
All right, we got a lot to discuss today.
How's your Finnish? Are you speaking Finn?
No, I don't.
You better learn.
I speak Norwegian, and I think there's
Norland.
some similarities. But we'll talk about Lowry today. I want to talk about Bronny James. This is what. Rob, I was right. You were wrong.
If you rely on the world being as crazy as it is, you're going to be right a lot, AJ.
Sometimes you just got to think. You got to think. What are we going to look at and go? Really? They did that, and then just assume, yeah, they're going to do that.
And you can't make sense out of nonsense. So we'll just carry on and go. You know what? Yes, I guess he earned it.
We'll look at some of the nonsense going on next. It's Morning Huddle 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
San Antonio Sports Star.
Joe Reinagle here. I want to tell you about something that has completely changed my life. I had vision correction surgery at Parkhurst New Vision. The results are amazing. The readers are a thing of the past. Hey, if you're like me and tired of those glasses, call Parkhurst New Vision at 210-585-2020. They offer a variety of services like vision correction surgery. So call Parkhurst New Vision, 210-585-2020, or get them online at sanantoniolasik.com.
Pork rinds pack a protein punch and are the boldest low-carb snacks out there. Skip the chip and try Southern Recipe small batch pork rinds for that ultimate crunch. And with flavors that will have you craving for more, the time to stock up on Southern Recipe at H-E-B is now. Southern Recipe small batch pork rinds. Be big, be bold, be adventurous.
Happy birthday, America!
Mr. W Fireworks has been your family-owned and operated fireworks provider since 1963.
We are proud to guarantee the lowest prices on fireworks around. And the biggest selection, too.
That's right. Here at Mr. W Fireworks, we have the lowest prices on fireworks in the area and with the biggest selection to choose from. At Mr. W Fireworks, we have been doing this a long time.
We never charge any hidden fees, and we pass our savings down to the customer. Find a location near you at MrWFowards.com.
With Progressive's Home Quote Explorer, you can check if you're paying too much for home insurance, because giving you options is the right thing to do.
Oh, you mean like when I let someone with less groceries go ahead in line? Sure, there's a part of me that thinks, if you only need 3 things, maybe go to a convenience store next time. And now they're sifting through coupons and my frozen foods are about to be not frozen.
But still, it's the right thing to do. So compare rates with Progressive's Home Quote Explorer. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and third-party insurers. Not available in all states or situations. Prices vary based on how you buy.
Thanks for calling Discover. This is Diego.
Hi, Diego. It's Jennifer Coolidge. I just want to say your cashback match makes me feel so special. It really inspired me.
That's great. Doubling the cash back you've earned at the end of your first year is what we do.
Well, I'm doubling everything now. Double dating, double dipping, double feature, double header, double whammy. Basically double or nothing.
You earn, we match. Discover cashback match. See terms at discover.com/creditcard.
No one knows the importance of a great assist more than Lowe's and Leo Messi. That's why we've teamed up to give MVP's Pro Rewards members 10 times the points when Messi makes an assist during CONMEBOL Copa America USA 2024. Activate this offer starting June 20th, so when Messi assists, you score. Shop the day after an assist to earn those extra points. Not an MVP's Pro Rewards member? Join today. Visit Lowe's.com/Messi for more details.
Give your engine the attention it deserves with the advanced formulation of Napa Full Synthetic Engine Oil. It delivers faster oil flow for superior temperature protection in the harshest conditions. Defends against sludge and buildup while keeping your engine running cleaner, longer, and improves fuel efficiency by reducing friction, helping you stay at peak performance mile after mile. Try Napa Full Synthetic Engine Oil today. Available now at Napa locations nationwide.
This summer, click into easier yard cleanup with same-day delivery from the Home Depot. Click into clearing overgrown grass or weeds with effortless gas-like power. And click into the convenience of a battery platform compatible with over 250 tools with the Milwaukee M18 fuel trimmer, now for just $199. Click into power with 4th of July savings now at the Home Depot. How doers get more done. Order select and stock items by 4 p.m. subject to availability.
People are going to want to see you fall when you get to the top.
3 stars, 1 season, changing history.
Cardoso for 3. Big shot! To plan these environments, this is what we work for. We fought so hard all season long.
You could not have scripted a better ending to this magical women's college season.
Kiki Rice, Camila Cardoso, and Caitlin Clark. ESPN Plus Original presents Full Court Press, presented by State Farm. Stream now on ESPN Plus.
You're locked on the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
It's showtime!
Morning Huddle, 94.1, San Antonio's Sports Star. We're so fancy, Rob. We've got Wimbledon on in the background.
I've got our they're known for strawberry. Is it peaches? Something in cream? Is it strawberries and cream? Is that the rigor? Like the Masters has the pimento cheese sandwiches, and I think Wimbledon is peaches and cream. That's what it is. Peaches and cream.
Peaches and that would surprise me.
Or strawberries, or
Probably
something
strawberries
in cream.
and
Something
cream.
in cream and it's clotted cream.
Clotted cream is so good.
And yeah, it's kind of sweet condensed.
It's gross
clotted.
by itself, but when you put it with the right stuff,
it's kind of a legendary thing. I've had it, but I haven't had it at Wimbledon. It's kind of a British thing. So yeah, we're having that right now. Some finger sandwiches. High tea will be at 3:00.
So I'm actually going to a Gordon Ramsay place this week.
Hell's Kitchen.
Yeah, and he does the sticky toffee pudding with that clotted cream.
Those Brits know their desserts. They can bake. They make a fine dessert. Yes, they do.
And I'm not going to go with beef Wellington. That's like some people like the beef Wellington. That's not.
No,
I've
beef
tried
Wellington. If you haven't had it, is this bread crusted roast that. Man, I don't pass that up when I get the chance. That bread with all that meat juice in it
he's known for it. That's like his specialty, and it's good.
It's a legendary dish.
But there's some other thing. I think I'm gonna go outside my box on the menu and try something.
Really?
I don't know yet. I'll let you know on Monday.
I can't wait. No, seriously, let me know as you're eating. I want to see photos, man. I like that kind of food porn.
Bronny James,
he's earned it.
is earning everything he's getting in the league. Rob and I discussed the pressure. I said, do you think there's going to be pressure for JJ Redick to play him? I guess I should re-ask you that question now that we know what we know, because Rob said, no, he's going to be in, I forget what the name of the place. I always say
Aguas Calientes.
I always say Rancho Cucamonga
Which
as
is
like a joke, but I don't.
That's from a Bugs Bunny cartoon, right?
They play somewhere around LA that isn't LA, but that's where their G League team is.
Rancho Cucamonga.
But I say that's where Bronny will be. But Bronny is going to be in the Staples Center or whatever. Is it still called the Staples Center?
It's Crypto.
Crypto, that's right. Yeah, Crypto Center. And he's going to be on the LA Lakers.
He's going to be on the LA. He is on the Lakers.
Yeah, not the G League Lakers, not the Glakers. As they signed him to I guess it's a multi-year, this
guaranteed,
is a real contract.
He got a first-round deal.
Now, is there pressure for JJ Redick to put Bronny on the court?
Okay, so do you think JJ went, okay, LeBron, is this enough? I mean, is this enough for me to go ahead and coach in peace? I put him on the team. Is this enough? Or am I going to now have to design 5 minutes a game of Bronny playpen time? Am I going to have to tell me now?
No, I don't think there's any question he's going to have to do that.
Oh my gosh, AJ, do you want to go? You want to go shake the franchise and go? Do you know this is a franchise-altering move, and it doesn't seem like much. This is the butterfly effect, like a butterfly in Africa shakes its wing, and the next thing you know, Katrina's destroying southern United States. This is how this begins. This little innocuous move of bringing in little Bronny so he can spend some time with daddy. And then he starts spending some time on a franchise that's under a magnifying glass that would burn even the most experienced NBA vets. And then you put him there and you have 10 dudes on the team that look at him like it's daddy baseball. Like you're playing for the coach whose kid is the pitcher. You're playing for the coach whose kid is the quarterback or whose kid is the point guard. And whatever daddy ball goes, well, we might win because the kid's pretty good. Now I'm talking about LeBron, not the kid.
Yeah.
We got one guy that's pretty good. And if we keep him happy, we might actually get there. But this is going to be a sacrifice for everybody. And one thing that goes south, this whole team's going to collapse on itself.
Yeah, and it's not like this team was is in great shape as it is.
And they don't get it. They are so self-deluded in this LA bubble. I believe Redick believes that this kid actually did earn it.
I don't.
I hope he doesn't believe it, but you want to lose face?
But let's also kind of remember why JJ Redick is the coach of the Lakers.
I'm so wrong here. I did not look at the human element of this, the idiocy effect, the LA we are smarter than you effect, the LeBron effect. I didn't see it rippling this far to where you have the new coach of the Lakers saying that Bronny earned it playing 6 college games, and he played on a high school basketball team, the Sierra Canyon team, that was stocked full of D1, high D1 players. I have no idea how good he is. I have seen him against some high school All-Americans. I'm not taking away from his skill set, but to tell me that he has earned it, it's comedic, man. It's farcical. It's like a comedy on Netflix. So how do you make fun of an NBA franchise? Do this.
His quote was, I feel like I've been given the opportunity to showcase what I can really do because I wasn't given that much of an opportunity at SC. You know why you didn't get on the floor at SC? Because Isaiah Collier and Boogie Ellis are better players than you.
And they're not in the NBA either.
Well, Isaiah Collier is Boogie Ellis.
Boogie might find him
I assume he's going to get a free, but he'll be a G League player. You know, but this is the delusion is so deep here. But again, I think what you have to consider is JJ Redick is only sitting in that seat because LeBron got him in that seat. So he only has so much he can say. You know what I mean? Like,
I didn't think it had gone that far. I thought Pelinka, somebody would be the adult in the room and go, I get what you're trying to say, but do you understand what you're doing to your kid?
Yeah.
Because you're not going to be in the room all the time. And when you're not around, he's already a rookie. And now he's a Nepo rookie.
Yep.
The first in history. And he believes legitimately that he hit a triple. He does. In his mind, Bronny believes that he hit a triple, that he wasn't born on third base. He thinks he earned his way there.
And again, like you said, there's a possibility that he could play. The problem is he can't play now. You know, when he wants to, he said, I feel like I could have been perfecting my game more. You know where the place to do that is not with the Lakers. And most importantly, this is a point guard. This is the guy who's, when he's on the floor, well, because by the way, he's like 6 foot tall. He's limited in positionally, but when he's on the floor, he's going to be in charge of running the whole show. And trying to develop and perfect his game. Like, if Bronny was ever going to have success in the NBA, it would have had to have been, he would have had to play the long game.
Yes. 4 years
he wanted to
college and latching on.
He wanted to be there now. LeBron wanted him there now. And it is going to cost Bronny, I think, in the long term.
It's going to cost him. It's going to cost the franchise. You're going to lose at least 2 players. Maybe not overtly, but covertly, they're going to get the hell out of Dodge because this is not where I thought I was going to be at this stage of my life.
Yeah. I mean, and I think it's going to be proven pretty quickly that this dude is not ready and does not belong. And like I said,
the fact that he is going to get minutes, he's going to get like scheduled minutes.
Yeah.
You
know,
know,
the Lakers aren't a deep team.
No, he's going. If you're on this roster, you're going to be amongst some other low-paid dudes.
And as the Lakers continue to try to make, like, the Lakers are apparently in the market for Trae Young, they're in the market for Lauri Markkanen. If you make a move like that, any trade the Lakers make, like this for any kind of real player, the starting point is going to be Austin Reeves and Rui Hachimura. So now you're taking a team that's not deep and making it less.
Because they're chasing draft picks.
Yeah. So they're in a weird spot. Daniel says, which team would have drafted him if the Lakers didn't?
No one.
No one. There were 3 picks left after him. After the Lakers took him, he would have been an undrafted free agent. That's why I said all along, the Lakers, I would have told LeBron, hey, we're going to take a player we think can actually help us, and then we'll bring in Bronny as an undrafted free agent and, send him to Rancho Cucamonga. But that's not what that wasn't what LeBron wanted.
And give him the benefit of a little bit of adversity.
Well, he's
give him the gift of adversity.
He's going to get adversity here. It's just not. It's not the same kind. This isn't the kind that's going to make you better.
It's not.
Like there is something to, like when you're a fighter. Like you want to be in with guys, you want to train with guys that are better than you. But if you're, you're 6 months into your fighting career and you get thrown in with Tyson Fury,
I don't care who you've been sparring against, you're going to get your ass kicked.
You're not going to like boxing for very long because this is going to humble and probably humiliate Bronny.
It's not like he hadn't stepped on the court with these guys. And here's the thing that's going to be galling to a lot of people is you're going to see highlights of Bronny doing things. I mean, he's a basketball player, but it's not the individual play. It's the entirety of a game and how he fits into a team that he's going to be such a net negative because first and foremost, he is as big of a victim on the court as anybody. Everybody on the court will know when Bronny's out there because I want to get me some of that. Please meet me at the rim.
No doubt.
Please get there. Please step out and defend me. Please put your hand up or please put your hand down because I want to put you on my poster.
We're going to continue this conversation a little later in the show. Talk about what the Spurs are up to next. Morning Huddle 94.1.
It's the Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons at 2.
Coming up on the Blitz, what is the latest for the Spurs and the NBA free agency period?
The latest rumors and any breaking news, we'll have it for you. Plus, it's the day before the 4th. Besides hot dogs, what's going on your grill? We're talking about it on the Blitz starting at 2.
The Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons at 2 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Summer. What's not to love? Well, maybe not the scorching temperatures. Every day can't be 75 degrees with a breeze. So I went to Kohl's and stocked up on looks that'll keep me and my husband cool all season long. I got 20% off already great prices on linen dresses, cute jumpsuits, and comfy polos. Plus, I saved $15 because I spent over $75. And I earned Kohl's cash. So bring on the summer heat. We're ready to weather it in style. All thanks to Kohl's. Select styles. Offers end July 7th. Some exclusions apply. See store or Kohl's.com for details.
Can't escape the office this summer? Make your workdays tastier with delicious savings from Easy Cater, the #1 site for workplace catering. With over 100,000 restaurants to choose from, save up to $40 when you order from participating restaurants. These scrumptious discounts are available exclusively on EasyCater.com. So order some food for work and save some green with delicious summer savings. Order now at EasyCater.com. Order must be placed and received between June 24th and July 5th. Restrictions apply. See offer details.
The Golf Club of Texas has some of the best course conditions with the friendliest staff. The golf is great. They have lighted driving range and practice area. While it feels like a country club, it's not a private club. It's open to the public, so bring the family into the Tin Cup Bar, the nicest sit-down restaurant in that area of San Antonio, specializing in Texas food, wine, and spirits. For golf or dinner, go to the Golf Club of Texas off Highway 90, online at golfclubtexas.com. The Golf Club of Texas, the friendliest golf course in Texas.
If you get arrested, get out of jail fast by calling AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121. Text bail to 474747 or online at mybestbailbonds.com. You don't have to call attorneys or anybody else. Don't be forced into a PR bond. If the jail offers you one, make sure you understand the conditions before accepting it. AA Best Bail Bonds. Nobody beats their price. They have payment plans. Call 210-225-2121 or mybestbailbonds.com.
License number 149.
Do summer projects your way with 4th of July savings from the Home Depot. With free delivery on over 2 million items, you can make the most of summer grilling and dig into gardening. Plus, get same-day delivery on thousands of products like power tools and storage to tackle any last-minute garage project. Summer your way with 4th of July savings from the Home Depot. How doers get more done. Order select and stock items by 4 p.m. subject to availability.
Tired of hearing scary radio ads about the IRS? Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000 or $500,000, we have a solution. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS with zero risk to you. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with a BBB. End your tax nightmare today by visiting TRA.com or call 800-488-1329. That's 800-488-1329.
Must qualify for enrollment. Results may vary.
Guys, did you know your testosterone affects everything in your system, including how you feel and perform every day? Right now, Revive Men's Health San Antonio will check your testosterone for free. Knowing your T levels is the first step in understanding if you have low T. Your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED. Maintaining an appropriate T level can change your whole life. Most men start to see changes in their hormone levels in their 30s. Experience and results matter. So what are you waiting for? Get your T levels checked today by local, experienced, and trusted men's health experts. They've helped thousands of men since 2011. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Call Revive today and schedule your free testosterone test, free exam, and free consultation. Call Revive Men's Health at 210-615-7777. That's 210-615-7777. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
This is Joe Reinagel. You're listening to the home of the Aggies, 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Lauri Markkanen. I guess you don't roll your R's in Finnish.
I don't know how the
Laudi.
Finnish
Laudi.
speak. Are they? Would we consider them like Vikings?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
All right. I'm down.
I feel like they're. I think anybody from those Nordic countries, Norway or Finland or Iceland or Sweden, those are all Vikings to me.
Nordic.
Yeah.
So we've got that'll make if this happens, we'll have a Polak. Is that is that a derogatory term? Polish?
I think we could just say a Pole.
A Pole.
Yeah.
And I guess Jeremy Sohan plays for the Polish Olympic team.
Yes.
So we'll have a Polish guy. We'll have a French guy.
Mm-hmm.
Got a Spanish guy. Nunez.
Allegedly.
Kind of. And a Finnish.
That's right.
A Nordic guy.
That's right.
Do we have any Africans anywhere? Because we're gonna have to fill that. I mean,
we need to get
one. We got to
get one.
Canadians. Stefan, no, he doesn't count as a Canadian. He's
Champagne sounds Canadian.
It sounds French.
Yeah,
maybe. I'm just trying to fill the quota, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, he could probably pass. He could probably pass. And now Harrison Ingram speaks Spanish, so we've got a Mexican.
Got bilingual Mexican. We'll count him as Mexican.
Yeah, he's a Mexican.
Yeah, so I mean, or if Dallas, close enough.
If you want to, we could make him like Peruvian or
probably Dominican, Venezuelan,
something that sounds a little more exotic.
Whenever you see like
then we feel more international here.
But it always throws me off when I see a British dude, like just a brother walking down the street, and you go, "Hey, what's up?" and they come at you with a British accent.
Oh,
like,
yeah,
whoa,
it throws me off too.
Or you see a brother walking down the street, and you say, "What's up?" and it comes, and he's Venezuelan. You're like, "Whoa, where'd that? That doesn't sound right at all."
Yeah. Although I think that's like as racist as our country is, I think Europe is even more racist than us.
Well, they are certainly more tribal. But I do think they're a little bit further down the road than we were.
You think so?
Yeah, in some instances, the traditional racism, I think they're further down the road. And now
I think
the modern racism, I think they're well behind us.
Okay.
You know what I mean? The traditional black-white thing, I think they've kind of settled things a long time ago. The slavery stopped a long time before us.
It did, but
they're still segmented, but that's segmented by population and the way that everybody's stratified in Britain, and just by the way that it was non-democracy, landowning, that kind of stuff. White, black, you're in the same strata. You were never changing. That's just how it was. And most of the Brits were unfortunately on the West Indian Brits, the Jamaican Brits were stuck in a strata that they were stuck in because of the system. White folks were stuck there too. They just couldn't get their way out. There was no way to educate and grow economically like in America or anything was possible. So I think that strata, they're well ahead of us as far as the modern refugee, Middle East issues. Whoa, they're dealing with stuff that we haven't had to deal with.
I will say, I had a buddy who played soccer in Europe, and he would say, like, because I was talking about Boston, I always talk about how
you go to the stands and stuff. Yeah, there's some.
Oh boy, he's like with black players on our team. It was just it was
much worse.
Yeah,
much worse.
Terrible.
Now, this is a tangent I didn't think we'd go down. I don't know how we
got here either.
Got here. The Finnish idea. I did not believe this was possible, AJ. And this is significant in such a way that we have such a turn to page. Last year before, the very idea that we would be in the running for Lauri Markkanen, that we would actually be in the bidding process. This is just so not Spur-like at all for us to be even in the bidding process for a mid-level.
The Spurs continue to confuse me about what their timeline is.
Yes, this is not what I expected. And we're in the mix here. And we see the Spurs, they're actively here, and they're holding on to these draft picks next year for dear life is what they're doing.
I think that's probably the holdup, as it should be, as far as getting any kind of deal like this done. But I'm with you. When we talked about this yesterday, I didn't really think it was a legit possibility that they'd even be considering.
I didn't either. I thought it was a pie in the sky, maybe possible dream. It's beyond that.
But yeah, apparently even more, we're hearing about, they are in it seems like the Warriors are the front runners, is what I was hearing yesterday. In fact, I think we have this sound, right? Here we go. Here's Chris Haynes talking about the Laurie sweepstakes.
So I was on a phone call. I had to take a phone call right now, and part of that phone call, it was related to me that the Warriors, they're the aggressor. They are the aggressor in this Laurie marketing sweepstakes. They are trying to do whatever they can to get into the fold, but it's going to be a costly price to get Laurie. The Utah Jazz, they don't necessarily want to trade Laurie, but they will for the right price tag. And you have to remember what was it? Was it Mikal Bridges? Got 4 first-round picks back in return. How many picks can Utah get for Laurie? And you know Danny Ainge. You know his history in collecting draft picks, first-round draft picks, I should say. So it's going to be a daunting. What can the Warriors do to come up with the necessary picks? And you know, Danny Ainge, he's all about standards. He's all about what did this team do? What's the most recent example? One of the most recent examples is probably Mikal Bridges. So they're looking at all of these things. So I was told the Warriors are the aggressors. San Antonio Spurs, they're in on as well. I'm told, like, on a serious nature, it's those two teams, Spurs, Warriors. But I'm told the Warriors, more importantly, are really pursuing, really trying to see what they can do to try to make it happen.
Okay, so for starters, it's weird that the Warriors just got under this tax threshold that they've been worried about apparently for the last 5 years. They let Clay leave.
So that whole line that said Clay was just like, dude, you're just old.
Yeah, they're finally under that threshold that they've been trying so hard to get under, and they're like, well, we really want to get back over that threshold.
Well, think about Lowry's game. It's Clay at his prime.
Yep. All right, let's hit a break. When we come back, we'll finish up this, or we'll get further into this discussion. It is the Morning Huddle on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
San Antonio Sports Star.
The John Clay Wolf Show. Here's what's going on in the Wolf Pack.
Let's see what our own Reverend Charles has to say about reparations.
Oh, Lord. I preached this sermon many times. If you want your reparations, I hope you get it. Because commandment number 6 is thou shalt not covet what thy neighbor have. And don't look at his wife, and don't look at his wife's ass neither.
The John Clay Wolf Show.
Catch the John Clay Wolf Show Saturdays from 9 a.m. to noon, right here on San Antonio Sports Star.
Hey, John, why so glum?
I just got let go. The company's downsizing. This is the 3rd time in the last 2 years. I'm done with this.
Have you thought about My Computer Career? I've heard they can train you for a career in IT in just a few months, including cybersecurity and the basics of AI. And you don't need prior training or experience. Now that's a recession-resistant career.
Wow, thanks. I'll check them out.
Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation. mycomputercareer.edu. Financial aid is available for qualified students, including the GI Bill.
It's Lee Come Key.
Welcome back to the Lee Come Key request line. Ready for something with a kick that's still smooth? Talk about a hot time at dinner time.
Crisscross.
This is America's #1 spicy mayo and non-GMO verified sriracha. It's the Sriracha Slide coming at you from Lee Come Key.
Turn it out.
Sriracha Slide on over to srirachalove.com to check it out.
Sriracha real smooth.
Have pain? Have chronic pain, low back pain, knee pain, neck pain, or shoulder pain? I can help. I'm Dr. Torres at the Institute for Functional Health, and we get to the root of your pain. We don't just give pain medications. We do the proper investigation to see what is the root cause, and it's covered by your insurance. Reduce your medication, avoid surgery, and get rid of pain for good. Call for your free evaluation. I'm Dr. Torres at the Institute for Functional Health, where we get to the root cause of your problem. 210-468-1891.
It's Jason and Joe from the Blitz. Join us at Circa Las Vegas in August for the Circa Sports Ultimate Contest Weekend.
The Blitz will be live at Circa August 22nd and 23rd, and then we're staying for the weekend. Come to Vegas with us for the Ultimate Contest Weekend.
Circa Survivor and Circa Million are back. Enter in Nevada, play from anywhere.
So join the Blitz at Circa Las Vegas. More details and discounted rooms available online at sasportstar.com.
If you miss the Blitz with Jason and Joe, then you miss this.
All the jokes about LeBron sleeping with his teammate's mom. Wow.
Wait a minute, what? Who'd LeBron sleep with?
His teammate's mother.
Oh, you did?
Yes.
Ronnie's teammate's mother.
LeBron is sleeping with his teammate's mother. It's not that hard to figure out,
No,
Joe.
I'm trying to. Whose teammate are we talking about?
Bronny and LeBron are teammates.
Okay.
LeBron is sleeping with his teammate's mother. He is sleeping with Bronny's mother.
I get you. Okay, all right.
It wasn't that hard to figure out.
I thought we had a spectacle going on here.
That's way too long to put together. It really did.
I'm like, oh, man.
Sometimes, Ryan Nagel.
Right home with the Blitz. Afternoons 2 to 6 on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star. It's the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
So what would it take to get Lauri Markkanen is the big question. And you mentioned the Lakers also being in on that sweepstakes. And for them, like I said, it would start with Austin Reeves and Rui Hachimura. I don't know where. I mean, I'm guessing the Warriors. It would have to be. What's the centerpiece of a Warriors deal?
I think all the teams would have to offer. Listen to me. Would have to offer draft picks. That's the only commodity. I don't think that there's certainly no talent that would come back other than salary that would match with Markkanen. So you'd look more at the dollar than the talent if it's going to be that. If it's a talent thing, it's still going to be draft picks.
Yeah.
Because what does Golden State or LA either have to send other than...
I mean, I'm guessing that, like, again, if you look at Austin Reeves and you look at Rui Hachimura, at least it's some young guys that they can say, okay, these guys can maybe be a part. I guess the Warriors, it'd be like Jonathan Kuminga or Trace Jackson Davis.
Yeah, maybe, but I'd still think at the end of the day that you're not going to get person or talent for talent unless you're dealing with San Antonio. Yeah. You'll get quantity that might not match the quality, but that quantity will be more about the dollar attached to their name than the name, you know?
And for the Jazz, that may be okay. Like, they may not be looking to, they might not want any real money, long-term money on their books.
Right.
And they would just prefer to have draft picks.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll be honest, if I'm the Warriors or the Lakers, cool, take it. If I'm the Spurs, I'm a little less in a rush to trade away draft commodity because I still think they're in a good position. And listen, I think Lauri Markkanen's really good, but I think that another guy like that will come around. And if they're in a position this next year where they've got 2 more top 10 picks, I think they're going to be in a really good position.
It is ridiculous where the Spurs sit, and they have so much leverage in any kind of negotiation they want to get into because they have the picks and they have the money and they have underpaid average talent.
Yeah.
I mean, they've got everything necessary to make the kind of deal to go do this. It just seems, if they go get Markkanen, they're about 80% done in their talent acquisition phase in tournament prep. Now, there's still 5-6 more dudes to go get, but as far as the lead dogs,
the timeline is, they hit the fast forward button.
They've already got the lead dogs on the sled team. They already know who's going to be pulling it in the front. It's already there.
And Lauri Markkanen, we've argued around here about if Devin Vassell's if he's the second or third best player on your team, how good is your team? I think if Lauri Markkanen is the third best player on your team, you're a title contender.
You're doing it right.
Especially if Wemby's the number 1 and Markkanen's the number 3. If you can go get a guy to fit with those guys, and all this presumes that Stephon Castle becomes a solid NBA pro as well.
And he will.
I think he will.
I don't think if he doesn't, it will be because of something unforeseen by anybody with any sense.
But then you go out and get one more free agent. And again, like you said, next year, you're going to have the money to do it.
Well, they'll eat up a little bit of it with the Markkanen deal. They won't have quite the money, but they'll have still money. Enough. But it's the ridiculous number of draft picks that you sit there with.
Yeah.
3. I mean, if I'm the Spurs, you will pry the Atlanta and my pick out of my cold, dead hand. I mean, you can have Chicago's, you can have the 2026 pick swaps, you can do all of that, but next year's two, mine and Atlanta's, I'm using. There's too much opportunity there for me to give up. And this is one of those situations, yet again, the pick is more valuable than the player as we sit with there. And I can't imagine giving one of those two up, especially for a guy like Markkanen. No disrespect to Markkanen, but as you just said, he's being brought in to be the third best player on the team. And we're going to compare him to Mikal Bridges. That's what his people are going to say. You compare him to Mikal. That's what Danny Ainge is saying. He's 4 number ones good. No, he's not. He is not Mikal Bridges. He's not. He's close, but he's not 4 number ones close.
The 109er says, no matter what happens, we are in the playoffs right now. With Laurie, we're in the finals.
Not right now. I would say, yeah, I'd agree with you in 3 years, but there's more to do. I'm just saying about the, you go get the major, you put down the cornerstone, you put down the foundation first, and then you go fill in the gaps. There's still gaps to be filled, but as far as dudes that you need to win, they're 80% done. With Markkanen.
If they get him. Yeah, it's certainly starting to feel that way. Now, the question becomes, what's the tipping point? And I guess for you, it's those two picks.
It is the Atlanta pick. More than anything else, it's the Atlanta
I'm with
pick.
you, because if you get Markkanen, suddenly your pick isn't as
not quite
valuable.
You're right. But it's Atlanta's.
But I wonder if there's some sort of player you could also get back with Markkanen, and it kind of evens things out if you were to turn in like a Vassell and your draft pick.
If you go to the trade machine, AJ, that ESPN trade machine, they have to, because his salary currently is much less than Devin's.
All right, we're going to continue talking about this. Morning Huddle 94.1, San Antonio Sports Star.
This is the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson, KTFM Floresville.
Don't miss the Independence Day sale at Edwin Watts Golf Shops by Worldwide Golf. Take advantage of incredible deals like 20% off all used clubs, Orange Dot apparel starting at $29.99, and all closeout shoes and bags get an extra 20% off. Shop in store or online for great Independence Day deals. Edwin Watts Golf Shops by Worldwide Golf, home of the 90-day satisfaction guarantee. Get there.
Summer. What's not to love? Well, maybe not the scorching temperatures. Every day can't be 75 degrees with a breeze. So I went to Kohl's and stocked up on looks that'll keep me and my husband cool all season long. I got 20% off already great prices on linen dresses, cute jumpsuits, and comfy polos. Plus, I saved $15 because I spent over $75. And I earned Kohl's cash. So bring on the summer heat. We're ready to weather it in style. All thanks to Kohl's. Select styles. Offers end July 7th. Some exclusions apply. See store or Kohl's.com for details.
Hey everyone, it's Ted from Consumer Cellular, the guy in the orange sweater, and this is your wake-up call. If you're paying too much for wireless service, you don't have to keep having that nightmare. Consumer Cellular has the same fast, reliable coverage as the leading carriers for up to half the cost. So why keep spending more than you have to? Seriously, wake up and call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com.
Savings based on cost of Consumer Cellular single line 1, 5, and 10 gig data plans with unlimited talk and text compared to lowest cost single line postpaid unlimited talk, text, and data plans offered by T-Mobile and Verizon January 2024.
There's never any FOMO with the iHeartRadio app. You won't ever have to miss out on your favorite shows and contests with this radio station again. Radio 24/7, 365. We're here when you want us. Stay connected and listen anywhere when you download the free iHeartRadio app.
The biggest pro football contests in Vegas are back. Circa Survivor and Circa Million are now up to a record $16 million in guaranteed prizes. 2 ways to win and no rate. Circa Survivor contestants select one team each week with no point spread. Last the longest to win it all with $10 million guaranteed. In Circa Million, make 5 picks against the spread each week for your share of $6 million guaranteed through quarterly and full season payouts. Enter in Nevada. Play from anywhere. Visit circasports.com for details.
Listen to this station anytime, anywhere on Odyssey. Odyssey is your new audio home for all the music, news, sports, and podcasts that matter to you. Odyssey. That's AUDACY.
Living here in San Antonio and South Texas, a water softener is almost a requirement. The water is hard. You know this. It affects your appliances and all of that kind of stuff. And the best water softener to buy is a Connecticut quality water softener. Connecticut's been serving San Antonio for over 50 years. They're made in America, up to 80% more efficient than competing models. Got a simple design, fewer moving parts, and the best thing about it is there's nothing to plug in. There won't be an increase in your electric bill. Connecticut quality water softeners are the best in the business, and right now they have got the best deal for you. Connecticut is going to let you try a quality water softener in your home for 90 days, absolutely free with no contract. Call them today. 656-PURE. That's 656-7873 or ConnecticutSA.com. You know the jingle. Sing it with me. Connecticut, the last water softener you'll ever own. Call 656-PURE. Connecticut.
When you get nachos, tacos, empanadas, spicy queso with jalapenos, Pepto-Bismol's there. Pepto-Bismol provides fast, effective relief from nausea, heartburn, indigestion, upset stomach, and diarrhea. All the things that can happen unexpectedly on vacation. So before you travel, pack the Pepto. Pepto. Heartburn, indigestion, upset stomach, diarrhea. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
The wait is over. Dell Technologies Black Friday and July deals are live. Check out incredible savings on select laptops and more, like the XPS 15, powered by Intel Core processors. The XPS 15 brings you the perfect balance of power and portability, plus stellar visuals and immersive sound. When you shop online at Dell.com/deals, you'll have access to exceptional tech and electronics, plus free shipping on everything. Don't miss out on Black Friday and July savings at Dell.com/deals. That's Dell.com/deals.
TSAOG Orthopedics and Spine is excited to announce a partnership that is revolutionizing access to care for orthopedic patients. The HURT app provides free 24/7 access to orthopedic expertise. HURT is the app to have before you need it. Don't wait for an injury to happen. Download HURT now for free, fast virtual access to orthopedic specialists. The HURT app is available online in the App Store and Google Play. Learn more about the HURT app and the OrthoNow Injury Clinic at TSAOG.com.
San Antonio's Sports Star. San Antonio's Sports Center.
In the NBA, Lowry Markkanen rumors continue. Chris Haynes of the Bleacher Report is reporting that Spurs and the Warriors are the two teams still in the mix. Speaking of the Spurs, the California Classic is in Sacramento. Starts July the 6th. The Spurs will open things up against the Hornets at 5:30 that Saturday afternoon. I'm Rob Thompson on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
From the studios of San Antonio Sports Star, reaching more sports fans than any station in South Texas. Welcome to the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson. This is 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Morning Huddle, 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. We're talking about Lowry Markkanen. The possibility of him being a Spur.
I want to throw this out to the Brigade Bar, you old timers. If they landed him, bigger get than LaMarcus?
No. I say no.
I don't think so, but as far as stature, maybe a little bit higher stature get than Lowry. LaMarcus was a legit all-star.
Yeah, and wasn't LaMarcus like the second pick in the draft?
Yeah, this was something pretty big, but this Lowry Markkanen thing feels, just because we're so rarely in this situation.
Yeah, I mean, this would be right. It'd be in the conversation. Yeah. We talked about it yesterday. Who's the biggest free agent? And now this wouldn't be a free agent. This would be a trade. So the list is
still
longer.
The biggest get,
yeah,
I would say.
It's been a while since the Spurs got a guy like this.
There's only been, there's been a few. Derek Anderson way back when. The trade for Richard Jefferson.
Yeah.
We brought in Michael Finley. We've brought in some dudes. But this would be right up there with him. And it's been 20 years since we've done anything like this.
Yeah. I mean, it would be a big grab. So the question is, where would it put you and what would it cost you? And you were messing with the trade machine yesterday, and the Jazz would have to add.
Yeah, the sweetener. A lot of people look at Lowry and Devin as these, and we assume I think it was Haynes that told us that Devin was a sticking point. We don't have any proof that that's the case, but you just have to assume our next best player is him. And if there's a sticking point, it's either him or the number one from ours or Atlanta.
Devin would be, let's just face it, Devin would be a great piece for the Jazz.
Devin's getting paid right now $10 million a year more than Lowry. That's what Lowry's up. So to make a trade as it sits without, Utah negotiating the extension and then trading the entire new contract to the Spurs, which would be probably how it'll finally work out if it was to happen. But if it didn't go that way and they were just going to, trade Markkanen's expiring contract and just kind of hope to get something back, if it's Devin that they want instead of the draft picks, Devin's getting paid $10 million more a year than Lowry. So that it would cause Utah to kick in a sweetener. And that's when things start to get weird. Because then if they're going to kick in a sweetener, they're going to want something back. And probably another team starts getting involved with it. With all of it having to do with the number of draft picks the Spurs get, it's not like an even deal. Even though Lowry is considered a better player, he's not getting paid as much.
He's not. But you talked about the other day that the Devin deal is actually a really team friendly deal.
Oh, yeah, it sticks for another 4 years. Yeah,
if he continues. Even if he doesn't get any better than he is right now, if he continues at what Devin Vassell is today, that's a good contract for the next 5 years. So that's a valuable piece for a team that's looking to fully rebuild.
As we get mad at the Spurs for not doing things, one thing you can guarantee about the Spurs is their players are going to get paid appropriately. They're not going to get overpaid. They're going to get paid exactly what they're worth. And Devin is getting paid exactly what he's worth in the hierarchy of the NBA.
Which is great because very few guys are.
Exactly right.
Like very few good players actually make the appropriate amount of money. So it's a good thing to have that. I mean, it's a great thing to have him on your team, but it's a great thing to have that asset as a movable asset.
I want to ask you a question, and this is one that takes we need your 30,000-foot view of the league and the Spurs in particular. Just because we're not accustomed to this and we're not used to being in this game, should we even be involved in this? Don't we have the table set? I mean, why should we do anything above and beyond the obvious and the easy, which is what I've been telling, we've been begging Brian Wright to do. Just do the obvious and easy thing and you'll be okay. And the obvious easy thing right now is to go get your $14 million exception and just play the game with the 3 top 10 possible, or 2 in the top 10, 1 right outside possible.
And just, under the assumption you're not going to make the playoffs again.
And spend the $40 million that you got next year on a legit superstar that we know will be bringing something other than a Lowry, which is still got some unscratched potential, but really is not everything that they could go get next year. Why, what the rush? What do you think?
You just talked about this. How often does San Antonio get a chance to land a player like this?
We're talking once a decade if we're doing the math.
That's why, because like when you hit open free agency, I get it that Wemby is going to attract players, but you're still trying to bring big time free agents to San Antonio. It's going to be a challenge. If you've got a chance to get a guy who is a top 30 player in the league,
by some estimations,
I mean, to me, you add that guy and you feel good about it. Yeah, you feel good. Like
I would not be upset, AJ, but I just feel like I finally got my first paycheck and I'm going to the mall.
Oh, I get it.
You know what I mean? And it's
just
can't help it.
You find the first thing you find.
Because I got it and I haven't had it in a long time and now I got it. And not that I won't be happy with what I got, but next week I'll see something that's probably a little bit more appropriate to what I want, but certainly more expensive.
Yeah.
And if I'd have just waited, I would get that much more oodles of enjoyment or utility out of it if I'd have just waited, even though, and we had it on the Brigade bar just a second ago, and this is a really good application. Lauri Markkanen is a poor man's Dirk, even though I ended up with a poor man's Dirk Nowitzki.
That's not bad.
No, it's not bad at all. But I still feel like, man, why run out and spend it? And enjoy the money in your pocket and the absolute freedom of saying, no, I could, but I'm not gonna.
Because to me, first of all, he's under 30, which it's so rare to get a player of his caliber while they're under 30, because teams don't let those guys get away.
Mm-hmm.
Those guys they've got bird rights. They continue to get paid by the team that has them. Like, teams suck every bit of life they can out of those players until and it's usually around age 30, age 31, where they say, okay, well,
you're damaged.
We're not going to win with this guy. Right. Now we can move him. The Dame Lillard move. Mm-hmm. It's like, okay, Portland held on with, how many teams tried to trade for Damian Lillard, and they were all like, we're holding, this is our guy. And that's what most teams do.
Mm-hmm.
Like, how long would Wemby have to continue to be, like, if Wemby played at an all NBA level for the next 10 years,
I hope
and
everybody's listening to you right now,
and you didn't win a title, like that, if he did it for 5 years, you're not moving on from him. If he plays at an all NBA level for 5 years and doesn't get out of the first round of the playoffs, you're going to want to keep him because you still see the potential. If he does it for 12 years and he gets to be 31 and you still haven't done anything, that's the time you move on from players. I just think that when you can get a guy who's still in his prime, like Lauri Markkanen is, what have we talked about? What do the Spurs need? They need an outside shooter.
Yeah, he's got the skill set that fits, and that's what makes this such a difficult thing. And at the end of the day, AJ, I'm still going to fall back on Spurs have such a long runway on this. It's going to be hard to screw it up. It really will be. So if they make this decision, I am all in. There's everything about it I like. And at the same side, if they decide, you know what, too rich for my blood, I'm not going to try to do anything outrageous. I'm going to follow the map. And we're just going to wait. We're going to draft, and we're going to spend a lot of money next year as planned. I'm all in on that too.
I think the key to getting players like this is finding teams who hit that point where they go, damn it, this isn't the recipe. And Utah got that way with Donovan Mitchell and Rudy Gobert. And that's when they moved on from all these guys. Markkanen's been clearly their best player for the last couple of years. They're realizing we're still so far behind in our total reset. They've got some nice pieces in place, Walker Kessler and Keontae George, and they go get Isaiah Collier. I like what they're building, but it's going to take a long time for that to turn into a real contender. So you find those teams that are like ready to hit a real reset. And if I were like, you know who this might be pretty soon? It could be Sacramento. If Sacramento has another down year
where you're starting to peel off pieces that you thought were going to work,
and you're like, man, we really thought this De'Aaron Fox and Sabonis and
the other Monk.
We thought all these guys were really it was gonna really come together, and it just doesn't work. And
yeah, you're right. They're coming to a point where they've acquired a lot of talent.
Yeah, and then they say, okay, well, let's move on from one of these guys. Then you swoop in. If that ends up being your third guy, De'Aaron Fox, and you've got a core of Wemby, De'Aaron Fox, and Lauri Markkanen, now you've got a title contender. But the other option would be drafting the right guys. That just takes longer.
I'll tell you something. As it sits, I'm either way kind of a guy, and I hate to be indifferent on this, but I'm not indifferent. I just see the positives of both, and I don't think either way you're going to be too bad off.
One just takes a lot longer.
But you know what would kick this thing up is if there was a sweetener involved, and they did throw in, you brought him up, Keontae George. That's a first-round draft pick in my mind. That's a lottery pick that if I was to, I would be willing to talk about maybe my draft pick number one for a Keontae George. Now we might be getting into something that I'd be willing to pass on a draft pick because this is still a completely unscratched lottery ticket and a guy that I would have drafted last year, this year, and even next year in the top 10.
And by the way, to me, the same goes for Walker Kessler. The same goes for...
I don't think that we could pry him away. I really don't. If Kessler became part of the conversation, what are the Spurs waiting on? Then you start questioning their plan.
But again, I'm not sure the Jazz are interested in moving on from any of those pieces because that's what they're trying to collect these pieces.
That's why this deal hasn't happened.
Yeah. So they want more draft picks, or they want a guy like Devin Vassell who they feel like they can, or probably more likely they want both of those things. And it's a tough decision to make, and it all depends on, if you're the Spurs, it depends on what's your appetite for the immediate future. And I believe, like somebody said, with Lauri Markkanen, they're a finals team. I don't think that's true at all.
But
I think if with Lauri Markkanen, they're a playoff team.
Is there another guy out there like him? Name other guys that play the Markkanen game. I mean, I feel like there's others for sure. But if that's the kind of guy that we're looking for, I mean, truly the type, not the name, but the type. And if there's nobody else out there that's available via free agency or expiring contracts, and there are probably only about 5-6 guys in the league that are really Markkanen types. The stretch 3 that can put it, or the stretch 4 really, that can put it on the floor, get to the rim. The Karl Anthony Towns modern big, the 6'10" and above, 3-point shooting mobile 4. There's not a lot that come available very often. So if that's truly the type that Brian Wright sees as the best fit, I don't know what they're waiting on. But, again, they might look at it like I keep saying. It's hard to screw this up. And I see a lot of guys playing really well against or with Wemby, whether they be a stretch 4 or a dominant 2 or a active 3 that can, all these guys would play well next to him. Why? There's a dollar amount that I'm going to stop at regardless of position. And maybe that's where they're sitting.
I think like you could look at but none of the guys that are going to be available. It's like a big man like that who can, like a Porzingis, maybe, I guess.
Well, yeah, that's what we're talking about. There's not a lot.
Chet
there are
Holmgren.
some.
You're going to get Chet Holmgren? No,
you're not going to get. I'm not. Yeah, the 7'4" nuke, but there's a few of them out there that might not be marking him, but can still hit a 30 to 35 from 3, can still put it on the floor, not afraid to put it in the paint.
You're right. None of them are better than him, though.
Right. So if that's the type, if you have done your scouting and decided the best guy to play next to him as far as who's in the league as opposed to a draft is Markkanen, I don't know what you're waiting on. Go ahead and do it.
I'm in the same boat. And if you said, you know what, maybe there is, and he's not better than Markkanen, but maybe Franz Wagner becomes available.
Same kind of guy. Certainly the same language of thought process, I think. But yeah, if you're looking for that type, and it's no surprise that Wagner's been talked about with the Spurs as well.
Yeah, but it seems like that's what they're looking for. And
well, then if that's your type, Brian, Pop, RC, what are you waiting on?
I think this is the best one available because, you're not I say you're not getting a Kevin Durant type. You don't want a Kevin Durant type because that confuses things.
Right. I don't want anything subtracting.
With Markkanen, there's no question about the hierarchy. There's no question about whose team it is, the direction of the team. That's the one thing you want to remain unchanged, in my opinion.
I can say something, and the Spurs did draft that type in Harrison Ingram. That's who they drafted. They drafted a Markkanen type, a big dude that likes to shoot threes.
Not quite that big.
No, he's not 6'10".
But he does. He rebounds hard. He's a good.
They drafted a 4.
Yeah.
So it might be further proof that is the type of player that they see being successful, not only in their idiom, but also in lifting Wemby.
Yeah. No, and they should see that as something that can lift Wemby. So I'm for this if they can get the job done without moving that Hawks pick. That's the
cold dead hands.
Yeah, that is the
Cooper Flag, Ace Bailey kind of draft pick.
You can't have that one. I don't care what the offer. Like it would take you'd have to get into the caliber of player that isn't going to be moved. Like it would have to be a conversation about a Devin Booker or better, and that's just not going to happen
for a lot of reasons.
So it would have to be someone who's like on the level of Wemby or better, and I don't think anybody's going to be interested in doing that. So I'd move a lot of assets. I've said before, besides Wembanyama, I don't think there's anything on this team that's untouchable. I think that Hawks pick is the next most untouchable thing. And that's why I was so against all along any talk about DeJounte Murray or Trae Young, because Everybody, well, the Hawks really want their picks back. Well, suck it, Hawks. You blew it.
What? The Trae Young talk got real quiet, didn't it? That went away real fast.
Yeah. And I was so excited when they said Chris Paul. Like, it's funny because Joe Reinagle was upset about, and I was like, you know what? The best thing about getting Chris Paul and Stephon Castle within 3 days of each other is we can forget about Trae Young now.
Yep.
Like it's not going to happen. He doesn't fit the he's not a Spur.
Well, he showed us the plan, and that's not it. But it's not that guy.
I love it.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Let's hit a break. Let's talk about why Klay Thompson's dad is disappointed in him. It's the Morning Huddle on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
I want to talk to you real quick about Arasti. I'm not disappointed in my boy at all, if you're listening, son. If you woke up this morning in pain, listen real close. Arasti is here, and they can fix you. Arasti providers are all around San Antonio with one mission in mind, and that's to get you out of pain. They're highly trained medical professionals even before they acquire the Arasti certification. So when you walk in the door, you know you're going to get the very best treatment you can get. And it's the type of treatment that makes them unique because it's not about surgery, and they're not about promoting medications to hide or to mask the pain. They're about fixing the pain or fixing the problem that causes the pain. And remarkably, the pain goes away. And they have a success rate the likes of which you would be astounded. 96% of every patient would happily recommend Arasti to their friends and family. There are no higher recommendation than that. They get you fixed fast, under 4 visits, get you back in the game. They accept most insurances. You don't need a referral to go. What are you waiting on? Go get yourself fixed. Write this number down. It's 1-800-404-6050. Their website is Arasti.com. Got a map there of all the locations. I bet you'll find there's one less than 10 minutes from where you are right now. You're that close to getting yourself out of pain. Call Arasti today. Don't let pain keep you from doing things that you love. Get a hold of them. Let them fix you. And I know you're going to be coming and thanking me later.
94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
Home ownership. At Progressive, we know it's part of the American dream. It's sea to shining sea and water damage as far as the eye can see.
It's America.
It's freshly mowed grass, an offense that was freshly vandalized by a pack of unruly teens. It's also round-the-clock protection when you bundle your home and auto with Progressive, which can help keep the American dream of home ownership alive and kicking. Get a quote at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Not available in all states.
The best things in life, they come in twos. 2 scoops of ice cream, 2 tacos. And now for a limited time, get our best deal of the year. Buy any phone when you switch to Consumer Cellular and get 2 months of service free. That's right, the same fast, reliable nationwide coverage as Big Wireless, now with 2 months free. Proof the best things in life really do come in twos. Visit ConsumerCellular.com or call 1-888-FREEDOM. Second and third month of monthly base service fee waived for new customers with the purchase of a phone and activation by July 31st, 2024. Taxes, fees, and third-party charges will apply. See website for additional details.
Texting privacy policy and terms and conditions posted at textplan.us. Texting enrolls for recurring automated text marketing messages. Message and data rates may apply or apply. Stop, opt out. Minimum purchase required. Interest accrues from the date of purchase but is waived if paid within the promotional period. Go to windowappointmentnow.com for full offer details.
Attention homeowners. Do you know when to replace your windows? Feeling too hot or cold? Fog between the glass? Spending too much on expensive energy that literally goes out the window? It's time to replace.
And right now, you can get a free in-home consultation and free price quote from Renewal by Andersen. Plus, during the month of July, buy 1 window or door and get one 40% off when you buy 4 or more.
Just text $$ to 200-300 for your free consultation on top quality, affordable windows or doors for no money down, no monthly payments, and no interest for 12 months.
That's right. You don't pay a dime for 12 months. Plus, for July only, buy 1 window or door and get one 40% off.
Don't wait. Text $$ to 200-300. Text the word $$ to 200-300. $$ to 200-300.
Buyers Barricades is proud to provide traffic control, rental, and sales for work zones and events in the San Antonio area and beyond. Buyers Barricades, the Texas authority in barricade rental. Learn more online at buyersbarricades.com. That's buyersbarricades.com.
Joel, I'm proud to introduce my latest in-summer relaxation relief-cation. I call it the Quarter Moon Grill and Go. It's a stainless steel propane gas grill with this, a full-size urinal. If you're gonna grill and you gotta go, it's the Grill and Go.
Folks at Quarter Moon Plumbing, Heat, and AC, we fix plumbing and AC issues fast and at a fair price. 210-651-5899.
Grill and
Go away, Nigel. Quarter Moon Plumbing, Heat, and AC.
License number TACLA 885-898 M16004.
It's the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
Oh, what a song. It is a Wednesday. For us, it's a Friday here on the Morning Huddle. Happy birthday, America.
America.
What a place to be.
Well, it's really, I guess it's our birthday. We declared our independence. We counted that.
That's when you become a nation, I think.
And we do. But, there are some that say once you sign the Constitution, we had officially done it. But no, it's our birthday.
Yeah, I think once we told them, hey, suck it.
It's going to be a good weekend. You get the sense that people are ready to uncork a fine weekend.
Yeah.
Everybody I know has been planning. I know so many people that are hitting the road.
I'm dreading the travel. I'm dreading the airport.
A leaf on a stream, AJ. Just if you get into it with the attitude of, you know what, by the end of the day, I'm going to be someplace else. I hope it's where I want to be.
Yeah.
And I have zero control over this. I can bitch. I can complain, but it doesn't make the planes land any faster. It won't make the TSA move any quicker. Just go with it.
No, you're right.
And it's a hard pill to swallow.
Man.
Deal with more than the departure airport and the landing airport. At least you're not trying to, if you're flying and you've got a layover anywhere, God help you.
Yeah.
Get on the plane and land where you're supposed to be.
I do have a layover on Sunday.
Well, Sunday will be worse.
Yeah.
Sunday is supposed to be the biggest travel day, but I think that's every next holiday is going to be the biggest.
It's Vegas to Denver. So we'll see. Wish me luck, man. But I always say there's
what we cross.
Good thing is there's a good little beer place in the Denver airport.
Yeah, the problem with Denver though is you're out there. Once you're at that, if you leave that airport, you're miles from anything.
Oh, I'm not leaving that. Yeah, that is that Denver airport's not in Denver.
No,
that's in like
it's halfway to Wyoming.
It's like 30 miles from Denver.
I've never understood. I guess they thought it was going to grow there 25 years ago when they opened it.
That is wild. I've never been to a city where the airport is so far away from everything. There's places you go where the airport's like in an inconvenient part of town, but it's still in the town.
Right.
For London's a good example of that. If you've ever been to London,
well, Heathrow is.
It's like Heathrow is a long way away from like downtown London. And it's like, why did they put but I guess, when you got a historic city like that, you've only got so much options when it comes to like room and things like that. But Denver, when they decided we're going to put this here,
and the city will grow to us, they'll come to us.
I mean, it didn't. Denver's a good sized city. It didn't grow that way. So you don't leave the Denver airport unless you're done with the airport. But there is a nice little bar in that airport that I'll if I've got an hour and a half, 2 hours, I'll probably kill there. Although one time I did have too many there, and I had to convince them to open the door back up to let me on the flight.
You know what? You just went counter to everything I just said. So you managed to talk a door open. I've never seen it happen, nor have
I managed to talk the door open to the bridge. The airplane door hadn't shut yet, but they had shut like the.
I've never even seen that door open to the Skyway. Man. No, normally they're like, Rob, it's closed.
I'm very charming.
Well,
very charming.
You ran into somebody kind.
You
were a giving person at that.
I had to make love to her.
Little something little on the side.
I had to make love to her.
Sweet airline love.
It wasn't sweet. It was dirty family bathroom love.
Did you step into the family bathroom?
Airport family
bathroom.
Use
that
love.
little bench.
Yeah,
little
like the diaper changing.
You got to use those little straps.
That's right.
Not that I've ever seen anything done that way, but
that's what I had to do.
So I've been told.
But I got on that plane. I'll tell you that. Klay Thompson's dad, very disappointed in him, and
for what?
Well, let me ask you, Rob, if your son got a job that was going to pay him $50 million over the next 3 years, I'm sure you'd be very proud.
I would treat him as I treat Bronny James.
Yeah.
He would live a dream.
But Michael Thompson, not as thrilled. He said, I'm not feeling too much in a congratulatory mood right now. Michael Thompson told Sirius XM NBA radio. He said, I mean, obviously it's Clay's decision. It's his life. He's a grown man, 34 years of age, just like we were 34 at one time. And our fathers used to give us advice, and, we choose our own path, and that's fine. That's what life's supposed to be about. I'm really disappointed. I was hoping, as you can assess, that he would be a Laker.
Well, didn't Michael do Lakers TV?
He still does.
Okay. All right.
So Michael, who was a Showtime Laker, I mean, he was there he won 2 championships.
Mm-hmm.
He's there basically the entirety of the late 80s into the early 90s.
He spent a year here.
Oh, I did not know that.
We had him in the mid 80s. He gave Johnny Dawkins his nickname of the Chicken Hawk.
Okay. So pre-Lakers, he was here. But he said when he told me the Lakers were talking to him or going to talk to him, he said, I tried to sell playing for the Lakers. He does do radio for the Lakers. And he said, he's employed by the team.
So Bronny gets his kid drafted and gets him a contract. And my boy, Clay, he won't even come over. You don't even try.
Spit in the face of the organization.
See, this is the kind of thing when you start playing daddy ball, start dealing with crap like this.
This would be like if your son went to work at a station across town.
Basically. And I could have brought him over here. I just chose not to.
You'd be ashamed of him.
And
that's Michael Thompson.
Prove
shame.
Your worth to me.
He said, the franchise has been so good to me and my family, including Clay. It's like he's guilting him. He said he grew up a Laker fan. He grew up idolizing Kobe, like most players his age. So I just thought it would be the perfect fit for him to finally come back home.
You're wrong.
And didn't work out that way. He said, we always talked about him playing for the Lakers. If you're not a Warrior, where else would he want to play? And of course, being a Kobe fan, he would have loved to play for the Lakers. But he had a chance. And when the chance came, he chose the Mavericks instead.
You're not first, you're last.
He said, I'll live with it. I accept it. I'm happy for him that he's happy with his decision. But yeah, I'm disappointed. I mean,
that's about right. Yeah, that's
you
about
talk
right.
about like being the most selfish dad. How much do you think people keep talking about how much the finances played into this? Like, do you believe that like the tax rates and things like that were real deciding factors?
I do think at the end of the day, tax rate does play a role, especially for the experienced player who's really, Clay. I don't know how his finances are. He's obviously already made $100 million. But I don't know. This is about padding your nest egg. This is the last contract he's ever going to sign. So I do think that there is a little bit more importance to squeezing every bit of juice out of this. So landing in Texas and not paying that state income tax, I do think played a role. I really do.
I want to talk about that, and I want to talk about what Clay did, what Clay and Steph's discussions were before he made this decision, because those reports are coming out now. We'll do that on the other side. It is the Morning Huddle, 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
How did you get up this morning? Did you step into a Connecticut water softened shower and start the day buttoned up? If you did, congratulations. You're the smart kids in the class. If you don't have a Connecticut, I want you to sit real close and listen to this. This is your chance. It's been a long time, Connecticut customers that have gone and done it the normal route, talked to the friends, got the recommendations, and went and bought their Connecticut. You don't have to do that. You can find out for yourself. If you'll call 656-PURE today, 656-PURE, you'll call Connecticut. They're going to come out and put a Connecticut water softener in your home. No charge, no cost, no commitment. You'll have it for 90 days to find out what all of us already know. You've got the best water softener for this part of the world. Connecticut, made in the United States. It's the most efficient water softener in the world. They got the awards to prove it, and they are made for you here in San Antonio. So what are you waiting on? Get rid of any concern about the pipes in your house, the dust on your dishes, what's going on in your hair and your skin, and what your dogs are drinking. Get your Connecticut today. Call them at 656-PURE. Go to ConnecticutSA.com for all the details. Sing it while you type it, but know this will be the last water softener you're ever going to own. Call them today, 656-PURE. You can thank me later.
It's The Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons at 2.
Coming up on The Blitz, what is the latest for the Spurs and the NBA free agency period?
The latest rumors and any breaking news, we'll have it for you. Plus, it's the day before the 4th. Besides hot dogs, what's going on your grill? We're talking about it on The Blitz, starting at 2.
The Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons at 2 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Save money by shopping local for your fireworks at Mr. W Fireworks. At Mr. W Fireworks, we have been doing this for a long time, since 1963. We never charge any hidden fees, and we pass our savings down to the customer. Don't overpay for your fireworks ever again. We are proud to guarantee the lowest prices on fireworks around, and the biggest selection too. We have locations across area. Visit MrWFireworks.com to find us. Shop local and save 50 to 80% more at Mr. W Fireworks.
For more than half a century, contractors and trade professionals have relied on WeatherGuard for heavy-duty truck and van storage equipment, not just to protect their valuable tools, but to protect their professional reputations. For pros, the WeatherGuard badge makes a statement about what drives them. It says, "Bring it on. Been there. Done that. We've got your back," without saying a word. And the folks at WeatherGuard, they're just as driven as the hardworking pros they serve. See what it means to be driven at weatherguard.com.
Get in the zone, AutoZone. Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today? Sounds like you heard about a July 4th sale. It's a great chance to red, white, and do that job you've been putting off. Like an oil change with full synthetic motor oil. Right now, you can get 5 quarts of Pennzoil Platinum with an STP extended life oil filter for just $34.99. Save on oil, wash and wax, and more this weekend at AutoZone.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
Have you gotten your hands on Southern Recipe small batch pork rinds at HEB yet? Southern Recipe small batch offers big, bold flavors like hot honey, spicy dill, and sea salt and cracked black pepper. Bonus, you're going to love the low-carb, high-protein crunch. Turn snack time from ordinary to extraordinary with flavorful pork rinds. Pick up your favorite flavors of Southern Recipe small batch pork rinds at HEB today.
With T-Mobile, you can get tons of benefits and still save on every plan versus AT&T and Verizon. Because nobody likes having to choose. It's like getting romance and sci-fi.
Jane, I love you. Also, I'm a robot.
Or being a dog person and a cat person.
Who wants a treat? Who's a good boy?
Or like being an extrovert and an introvert.
Woo! This is so fun! I can't wait to go home.
At T-Mobile, you don't have to choose. You can get the benefits you want and still save on every plan versus AT&T and Verizon. See how much you can save with our savings calculator at T-Mobile.com/switch. Plus, when you switch, you can keep your phone and we'll pay it off up to $800.
Via virtual prepaid card in 15 days. Qualifying unlocked device, credit, service, and timely redemption required. Card has no cash access and expires in 6 months. See T-Mobile.com.
The NFL is on. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Little breaking news. LeBron James agreed to a 2-year, $104 million deal to return to the Lakers. Yeah.
Ridiculous.
I think that takes out any thoughts that he's going to take, that the Lakers are going to sign another free agent.
I think that precludes that and the timing.
Which, why do they need to? They've got Bronny.
You know, he earned all this, but the timing, he didn't sign this until after Bronny got his guaranteed deal. He didn't sign it. It wasn't like he signed it and said, well, you know, do right by me and my son. No, he waited until the offer was made to sign the max deal. At what point are they going to look back on this couple of days and realize this is the end? This is when the end began. Will it happen in November? Will it happen at the end of the season? At what point are they going to know that the J.J. Redick hire and the Bronny signing to a guaranteed second round pick, guaranteed money, which the rest of the league is now going, what are you doing, man? Now I got to deal with my second-round picks. Then I go, well, you paid Bronny. What are you doing to us? When are they going to realize that Rome is burning? When are they going to find out?
The day that Caesar dies, when LeBron retires, and you realize that you let this guy basically dictate the direction of the franchise. Remember, Anthony Davis is a Laker because of LeBron James.
Mm-hmm.
JJ Redick is the head coach of the Lakers because of LeBron James. Bronny James is on the Lakers because of LeBron. Like, this roster is put together by LeBron James.
Do you feel like Redick had to justify the Bronny thing because he is, in fact, Bronny himself? He has to say, well, Bronny earned it because I earned it too.
Yes.
They have the same talent level and experience, don't they?
I mean, you could argue that Bronny deserves his job more than JJ Redick does. Like, he at least, played a couple college games. I'm not joking.
You're right. So how do they wake up and go, this is where we thought we'd be? This is when we planned out the 24-25 season. Our idea of success would be to sign a second-round draft pick and keep him on our team when we know he ain't ready, and to go hire a head coach who has never done it before and happens to be a business partner of our star who's going to be gone in 2 years.
It's odd. I think when he's gone, they're going to look around and go, what was that?
What have we done?
What just happened? It's going to be like a marriage, it's like one of those. It's like you woke up one day in Vegas and you were married to some chick that you met 3 nights ago. And like when as soon as you realize, oh my God, we got to get this annulled.
What
you're going to look around and it's gonna be like, what just happened? Was that last year of my life real? And I mean, obviously it's been more than a year. And listen, the Lakers are going to look at the LeBron era in the light of, hey, we won a title. And even if they only win one title, it's like, well, we won a title. Like we got ourselves back on the map.
Mm-hmm.
They are paying. When I say paying a lot, I mean obviously $104 million a lot, but they are paying a heavy price, more than just dollars, to try and chase another one with LeBron. And the Lakers are one of those organizations that they're not going to be comfortable being, like where the Spurs are now. Like they'll go into the tax and they'll do whatever they have to do to avoid a full-on rebuild. But it is going, when LeBron walks away, and Anthony Davis will still have some time there, and Anthony Davis is a good enough player that he's going to keep a team competitive.
Mm-hmm.
But when LeBron leaves and they realize that the architect of everything that they've been doing is gone now, they're going to look at Bronny James and go, this guy shouldn't be on an NBA team. They're going to look at JJ Redick and go, why is he our head coach? Where did he have any coaching success ever? Like, there's going to be a lot of questions of, how did we let it get to this? And the answer is going to be LeBron James, who's going to be buying a franchise in Vegas and competing against the Lakers at that point.
They did it with Kobe. They spin into oblivion.
Yep. And that's what they do. And at the end of it, they were paying Kobe, and they were paying him an amount that they were like, how are we paying this to Kobe Bryant? And they weren't competitive, but it was their guy, which is funny. It kind of goes to the conversation we had the other day about, Clay and the hockey player Marchessault that I was talking about, like, how much loyalty is the appropriate amount to show to your guy? I think with guys like Kobe, you can't show enough because he was a guy who was loyal to your organization.
You're allowed one guy to show it to. I think every franchise and every fan will allow you to overspend on one dude because of what he meant to us.
But LeBron is like, when LeBron goes in the Hall of Fame, he's not a Laker.
No, every Laker fan will act like he is, but he's going to wear a Cleveland.
I think he might wear, or if it's not Cleveland, it's Miami.
And he's going to go.
That's where he won the rings.
Yeah, but he's a Cav.
I think so too.
He's going to go in as a Cav.
Because he's an Ohio guy.
Cleveland. Yeah, he'll go in as a Cav.
But I think Lakers is not in the discussion.
Mm-hmm.
So
it's a pit stop.
He's not a lifelong Laker. So the fans they're going to be frustrated by all of this.
Mm-hmm. They're fickle and they go away, even when you're only kind of winning. Lakers just got to keep themselves relevant with a news flash, and I hope people show up and buy some tickets.
But yeah, this is it's weird how much control they're letting him have. On top of paying him exorbitant money.
I see imminent collapse. I think it's going to happen sooner than later. I think you're going to have players upset by the end of the year. I think Anthony Davis is basically a 13-year-old girl in mentality. And the moment he feels unloved, he's going to have an injury. He's going to sit out. I think you're going to have disgruntled mid-level exception vets that look around and go, this isn't how it's supposed to work. This is not how success looks. And you're going to see dissension and failure with a 40-year-old LeBron. And, he is a wonder. I mean, he is. But no matter how good you are and how much you invest in your body, you are still an over 40-year-old man playing a 20-year-old man's sport. Injury is imminent. It's going to happen. And he has been so lucky to never have to deal with a long one. That every day he continues to play, that's an imminent possibility as well. So that's $52 million sitting and watching games.
Oh, they drafted Dalton Connect.
So they got
the heir apparent.
Poor Dalton Connect.
I love Dalton Connect too, but man, and I think he did land in a good spot because he's going to have a lot of opportunities. But what a dysfunctional place to start your career.
Picked him up at the airport with all this Bronny talk. I mean, do they even realize
he's carrying Bronny's bags?
Seriously. Can you imagine poor Dalton Connect?
They had him show up in a suit and holding a sign that says Bronny.
Dude slides out of the draft, slides all night long in the draft, and then lands next to Bronny.
I mean, listen, when you have LeBron James and Anthony Davis, you have a floor that is higher than most any team in the NBA. LeBron doesn't play on bad teams. He just hasn't in his life. Like maybe when he was a rookie, but since his rookie year, a team that has LeBron James is going to be competitive at a minimum. Like they might not be winning titles, but they're not going to be a bad team. You add in Anthony Davis, who's a top 10 player in the league. Like there is a level of.
They better win 45 games.
Yeah, there's a level that barring massive injuries, you're unlikely to fall below. But I just think they are what they are doing is lowering their ceiling. Like with moves like Bronny and again, maybe JJ Redick can coach. It's TBD, but these types of decisions to me lower the ceiling of what you can really be.
And both in the short and the long term. Absolutely right.
And it's, I doubt Bronny's going to get a ton of minutes, but there's going to be a time where Gabe Vincent's going to be sitting on the bench with his warm-up top on, and Bronny's going to be on the floor
screwing up.
And Gabe Vincent's going to go look over at one of the other scrubs, Jackson Hayes. He's going to look at Jackson Hayes,
roll their eyes,
and just shake their heads like, "Oh, here we go." They're getting their father-son time while we're over here squandering. I mean, that's what it's going to be.
Oh, winning cures everything. So as long as they're moderately successful, everything's going to be okay. But the moment they lose 2 or 3 games, the moment, like let's say, and it'll happen, they're going to be on a roadie this year, and LeBron ain't going to be there. He's going to be, in a rest. He's going to be, taking that weekend off. Anthony Davis ain't going to be there, and they're going to roll into some town with the expectation where, we hope to win, and we're going to play some young guys. Wonder how the team looks then. What happens to Bronny when Daddy isn't there?
Yeah.
When he's not sitting on the bench, when he's not in the locker room at halftime, and things don't go well. That's when the team fractures.
Carlos in the chat, grown man hating on a 19-year-old is kind of creepy. No one's hating other than the fact that saying if saying he doesn't belong in the league is hating, then I guess I am hating. But no second round picks get treated like this.
First of all, dude, who said this?
Carlos.
This guy jumped into the ring. I didn't go get him. This guy decided to turn pro. This guy decided as an adult to turn pro. He jumped into the bullfight ring. I didn't drag him in. His dad decided.
Yeah, what's the age
you
limit?
know what, Bronny? I'm throwing you into the wolves and let people like Rob Thompson in San Antonio talk about you. No, guess what, Carlos? This is the game he chose. Not me. I don't think he should be here. But if you're man enough to get paid, you better be man enough to take what I got to say.
Yeah. I think any of that hating crap, that's reserved for high school kids. You won't catch me hating on high school kids. Which, by the way, that's why I don't do high school football games anymore, because I would be like, man, this guy sucks.
Depends on my proximity to the kids.
I mean,
I hate on them. The closer they're to me, I start coaching them. So I'll talk to an 18-year-old a certain way, no matter what he's doing.
Yeah.
Because I know for a fact that an 18-year-old kid, even though considered adult, is mostly brain dead.
Yeah,
he is. I mean,
true.
you're just not all the way developed yet.
But no, we're talking about professional athletes.
Yeah, dude. Sorry, Carlos. We're not picking on him. This is the game he chose, not me.
Sorry. Well, listen. I, for one, won't be sad to see the Lakers melt. I think there's 30 teams in the NBA. There's Lakers fans, and then there's fans of every other team.
Truth.
And there's very little crossover. So nobody looks at the Lakers and go, "Oh, they're my second favorite team."
They move the needle for a reason.
You either love the Lakers or you want the Lakers to fail. And I've never loved the Lakers, so I'm excited to see the imminent downfall of this team, because it's all self-inflicted.
Mm-hmm. That's exactly it. They did it to themselves. You didn't have to do this. You didn't have to listen. You didn't have to do it.
This isn't some kind of bad break. This isn't like oh man, they just had this unfortunate thing go wrong that kept them from being great. It's they let a player dictate the decisions. And I'm a believer in, you want to keep your stars happy. I think the Spurs should want to keep Victor Wembanyama happy. But you also have to realize when the difference between a 20-year-old and a 39-year-old making long-term decisions for your franchise is very different, because you're hoping that 20-year-old is going to be around for the next 10 years. LeBron is not going to be in LA for the next 10 years. He's just not.
So, I can tell you the day he won't be, the day this $54 million, that last check clears.
He gone.
He gone. In a matter of 2 weeks, they mishandled the head coaching hire, and they just ate a roster spot. It's not about the money. They're not paying him a lot of money. No. But what they did lose was X amount of talent sitting on the bench on a team that has really no depth. So they shot themselves in the foot. And they did it on purpose. They aimed, they pulled their gun out, looked at their foot, and said, yeah, I can live without that toe. I'm going to shoot off one toe. I got 10. I can live with 9. Well, they decided, I can live with 11 players. I don't need 12.
What are you talking about? JJ Redick talked about this same thing.
With Bronny, I want to clarify one thing you just said, which is Rob and I did not give Bronny anything. Bronny has earned it.
Bronny's earned this.
Did. I didn't. LeBron did.
Yeah, he did say, Rob and I had nothing to do.
That's called plausible deniability.
We didn't give him anything.
LeBron got me hired. You think I had any say with this Bronny thing?
President Jeannie Buss and President LeBron James, co-presidents, those were the ones who made this decision.
The
co-governors. They decided this. Wasn't us. Bronny. This is the other thing that drives me crazy about Bronny, is almost like you were talking about the Schlossnagle thing. Don't lie to me while you just admit admit things. Listen to this dude.
For me, I always try to put that narrative of me trying to get my name out for myself, but just coming in and trying to get better. Rob has told me that there's a great development system here. So I just want to come in and get my work in and get better every day. I never really had a thought of, me going to play with my dad, but that's always, there to take part of. But that wasn't a main focus of mine to do.
You worked out for 2 teams, dude, and one of them was your dad's. You didn't think? You didn't
playing with dad.
I had no idea that the Lakers really had any desire until Uncle Rob called me.
Well, listen to this one.
We haven't gone too deep into that stuff yet, especially because we haven't even started Summer League yet. But But, just stuff that he's been telling me my whole life, just having that work ethic and coming in and getting your work in and listening to your coaches and being coachable, stuff like that he's driven into my head my whole life.
He and LeBron haven't really talked about playing. Like, he hasn't really talked to him about life in the NBA yet. What is it like? Why not just admit it? Be like, dude, my dad's like one of the greatest players ever. I'm not trying to be my dad. Like, it's one thing to say, like, I'm trying to walk my own path.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what? I'm fortunate enough to have seen one of the greatest of all time do it in front of me. And it just there's ways to word it instead of like denying.
Where we root for you.
Me and my dad have never really talked about what life in the NBA would be like. He's only been playing for like 20 years, so we haven't really had a lot of time to discuss it. He just says try hard and everything will work out.
And be coachable.
And then the shock, LeBron. I mean, Bronny was so shocked. We talked about this. I mean, he was broken down to tears, Rob, when the Lakers drafted him because he just couldn't imagine that the Lakers, of all teams, one of the most prestigious franchises in sports, would find him of all people and take him.
Yeah, everything's just been surreal. Trying to take it all in by the days. Extremely, grateful for everything that JJ and Rob have given to me. And I've just been extremely excited to get to work.
It is indeed surreal. And now, to Bronny's credit, he is uniquely prepared to be an NBA player. He really is. If you take away all the stuff that goes along with the Nepo entitlement stuff, he has been around the game since he could walk. He has been trained and coached by the very, very best.
So say that.
Exactly. If he would just come out and say, yeah, man, I know I'm lucky. I mean, I'm not going to delude myself, but you know what? I'm going to work every day to prove that they're right. I'm going to work hard every day to prove everybody out there. Don't act like it's anything more than what it is. I got extraordinarily lucky, but a lot of people got their lucky first break. I'm going to take advantage of it. I'll see you at some point, but I'm going to earn it. And you say that, and people go, you know what? I'm kind of rooting for you because it would suck to be a basketball player with the name LeBron James. It would suck out loud because no matter how good he ever plays, he ain't never going to be his dad, ever.
That's the gift and the curse of it.
Yes.
Because if LeBron James wasn't his dad, he would not have had the training and stuff that he had, and he wouldn't he doesn't have the natural gifts, he wouldn't even be in the NBA.
Just say, man, gosh, I'm lucky. I am so extraordinarily lucky. But there's been a lot of other people that were born lucky and capitalized on it and did good stuff.
Yeah, man.
Give me a shot. Don't act like, oh, I've earned every penny of it. I've earned everything of this. You haven't. You know it. We know it. You can't try to dance around it and act like it doesn't exist.
Yeah, Peyton Manning had good DNA too. And, that's the way you could look at it is like, it's just because my dad did this doesn't mean that I'm only here because of who he is. Like my dad is great. He helped me get here. I'm going to show you that I belong. Say that. Don't say like, oh, we never even talked about playing together. That's such a lie. That frustrates me. All right. We'll get into that Clay and Steph stuff on the other side now that we're past the breaking Bronny news. Morning Huddle 94.1.
On your ride to work, it's the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson, KTFM Floresville.
Guys, did you know your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED? And right now, Revive Men's Health San Antonio will check your testosterone for free. They've helped thousands of men since 2011 feel and perform better. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Schedule your free testosterone test, exam, and consultation today. Call 210-615-7777. That's 210-615-7777. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Joel, I'm proud to introduce my latest in-summer relaxation relief-ication. I call it the Quarter Moon Grill and Go. It's a stainless steel propane gas grill with this, a full-size urinal. If you're gonna grill and you gotta go, it's the Grill and Go.
Folks, at Quarter Moon Plumbing, Heat, and AC, we fix plumbing and AC issues fast and at a fair price. 210-651-5899.
Grill and
Go away, Nigel. Quarter Moon Plumbing, Heat, and AC.
License number TACLA 88589E and 16004.
Testosterone levels in men can start to decrease as early as 30 years old, and long-term health risks can be extremely damaging to your body. Rock's Discount Vitamins carries a variety of natural testosterone boosters that can immediately provide you with more energy, increase libido, increase metabolism, and improve your mood. Rock's Discount Vitamins natural testosterone boosters can even help you build muscle and lose weight faster. With 11 San Antonio locations, visit rocksdiscountvitamins.com. Thanking God and South Texas for all the support.
With a true Vegas feel, the Big Blind is the premier poker room in San Antonio, featuring an upscale environment catering to players from all abilities. From high-octane tournaments or lively cash games, the Big Blind has a game for everyone, including blackjack tournaments. From the owners of the Roo Pub and the Angry Elephant, the Big Blind is locally owned and operated, offering daily cash games to daily, weekly, and monthly tournaments. Learn more online at thebigblindsa.com. The Big Blind at 281 and Redland Road.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, did you know there's a generic form of Viagra that works just the same but is 95% cheaper? And you can get it online at hims.com/joy. Through Hims, you'll get a free medical consultation to determine the ED medication that's best for you, discreet shipping if prescribed, a 100% online process, and a range of treatment options, including trusted generic alternatives to the name brands, at up to 95% off. ED is personal, and at Hims, so is treating it. Just go to hims.com/joy and get connected to a licensed medical provider online for free with zero copay, no expensive appointments, and no awkward face-to-face conversations. To start your free online visit, you need to go to hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy for your free online visit. hims.com/joy.
Don't miss the Independence Day sale at Edwin Watts Golf Shops by Worldwide Golf. Take advantage of incredible deals like 20% off all used clubs, Orange Dot apparel starting at $29.99, and all closeout shoes and bags get an extra 20% off. Shop in store or online for great Independence Day deals. Edwin Watts Golf Shops by Worldwide Golf, home of the 90-day satisfaction guarantee. Get there.
He loves sports. He loves talking about sports. And just like you, he's got a lucky jersey that hasn't been washed in 6 seasons. Or since the Cowboys last won a Super Bowl.
I want me some glory hole.
Poop again. He called this poop.
He's Jason Minix. Afternoons at 2 with The Blitz. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. 94.1 FM. San Antonio Sports Star. San Antonio Sports Center.
In the NBA, Lowry Markkanen rumors continue. Chris Haynes of the Bleacher Report is reporting that Spurs and the Warriors are the two teams still in the mix. Speaking of the Spurs, the California Classic is in Sacramento. Starts July the 6th. The Spurs will open things up against the Hornets at 5:30 that Saturday afternoon. I'm Rob Thompson on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Sports Center is brought to you by Buyers Barricades, the Texas Authority in Barricade Rental. BuyersBarricades.com.
From the studios of San Antonio Sports Star, reaching more sports fans than any station in South Texas. Welcome to the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson. This is 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Morning Huddle, 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star. Glad to have you in on our Friday.
Rounding the clubhouse turn, we're halfway home.
Oh, man. What a day. What a day, friends. Boy, we've kind of been taken over. The show's been hijacked.
Lakers-centric.
By LeBron James.
Won't be the last time.
You don't think?
Nah, we're counting them down, though.
Yeah.
The last time his hijacking the show, the last one will be the retirement.
Yeah,
but we got 3 or 4 more.
Might be the last time we say LeBron James getting a max contract.
This is the last time we'll say that.
Unless he just decides that he wants to. Who knows? Like crazier things have happened, but yeah, LeBron James 52 million a year over the next 2 years to remain with the Lakers. How great would it have been if LeBron would have been like signing with Boston?
Gotcha.
Going to the Warriors. Like, oh man. After they hire Redick, sign his son to a deal.
I don't think the timing is accidental that he didn't sign his deal till after his boy signed his deal.
Oh, really? You think there was
I think he was holding out just to make sure they weren't lying to him. All right, I trust you. Now give him the contract.
You think there was some negotiation there then, huh?
Well, I don't think there was any negotiation. He put the paper in front of him and said, sign it.
Yeah, very interesting timing the way that worked out. Lucky break, I guess, for Bronny.
By NBA math, though, and let's forget about the pittance that they're paying Junior. The $104 million, the max deal on this Laker thing does affect, and it has a direct effect on the Spurs because we knew the Lakers were going to do it. I mean, we're not surprised that LeBron got the money, but it's now that he's gotten it. It's the timing of it. They're not in for all the big name guys that they were yesterday.
No, they're not. And that was sort of the talk was, hey, maybe these guys maybe they're not done yet. Maybe they're still going for something else. But now it seems like that's off the table as they lock in LeBron James, because LeBron was talking about taking a little less money.
Nope.
Not now.
Nope.
So, which I don't fault them.
I told you when it comes to talking money, the negotiation will have to do with manpower and usage. But money, you're going to pay me everything you got.
And if you're not, what I don't get paid is going to someone who I tell you it's going to.
Right.
It's just wild. So Klay Thompson, we talked about him earlier, leaving the Mavericks. Klay Thompson disappointing his father and going to the Mavericks instead of the Warriors, or instead of the Lakers, pardon me. Apparently, Klay went to Steph Curry and said, hey, man, I don't want you to go to bat for me here. I don't want you to ask the Warriors to go out on a limb to keep me.
Really?
Yeah. So remember, Klay was in 2022, in the third year of his 5-year, $190 million deal. He had missed the 19-20 season. The Warriors didn't know he was going to miss the next year too, because he was going to have the ACL was going to turn into an Achilles.
Right.
They wound up paying him $70 million over 2 seasons that he didn't play a single game in.
Mm-hmm.
And then over the last 3 years, the Warriors gave Jordan Poole $123 million. They gave Draymond $100 million. And Thompson got offered $48 million prior to last offseason. And that was essentially, I think the Warriors looked at it as, hey, man, we did a solid for you. You do a solid for us. And Klay didn't look at it that way.
No, I wouldn't either.
And Thompson said, hey, I want you to go to, or when management talks to you about me, I want you to just let me go. According to reports, it's been a layered 5-year path to this divorce, splintering last season, sprouting earlier, and finalizing in the last couple weeks, where among the conversations Thompson had, league sources said, was a request of Steph Curry not to exert his significant organizational influence and up the temperature with management to ensure Thompson's return. Curry's measured voice, even if it altered the outcome, wouldn't change the genuineness of Joe Lacob and the front office's true desires to have Thompson back.
Wow.
So basically, Klay said, it's a pride thing.
Let me go.
You don't want me back. I don't want my friend to go in and have to convince you that that I should be
I get
here.
it.
Because if the organization doesn't value me the way I think I should be valued, then
I don't
I'll
want
see
your
ya.
pity. I don't want your pity.
And the Warriors are an $8 billion franchise. And a lot of the reason why they're an $8 billion franchise is because of what Clay and Steph and Draymond did. And he does not want them to think that he's just being drug along because of the name on the back of his jersey and because they can play like old highlight reels of him. Yeah, I think he is. I think he's right.
Does it matter?
I don't think I would. I think I'd rather be in a new place that valued what I am more. Yeah, I think I want to be where I feel like I'm appreciated more.
Well, the guys that appreciate you were still there, though. I mean, he'd still be playing with Kerr. He'd still be playing with Draymond. He'd still be playing with Steph. I mean,
but there's something to the big bosses. Like
there might be
the
that,
organization.
but,
But do you only want to be at a place because your friends want you there, or do you want to be at a place because the management sees you as a valuable piece of what's there?
Well, I think there's a little bit of both. Certainly, I want to be viewed as valuable, but I would also look at my wallet first. I've already got rings. I'm already legend. I mean, you might not think it, but Clay's already legend. No matter what he does with Dallas, won't elevate or denigrate his achievements. He's a multi-ring winner, and for most of his career was considered the best at what he did. And going to Dallas, whether he gets another ring or not, it might add one more thing to a Hall of Fame career, but he's already going to the Hall of Fame. He's already considered one of the best to ever do it. He's just going to do it because he doesn't feel like he's done yet.
But his number's still going to get retired. It's going to hang up there in that fancy arena in San Francisco.
All the legacy stuff, that's already done. It's already taken care of. They're already taking measurements for the bust. He's going to get an orange jacket. I mean, it's all going to be done. He'll have a statue in front of the stadium. He'll never buy another lunch. He will be the guy that lingers on.
The Warriors had a priority list this season or this offseason. The first thing on the priority list was get below the tax.
But he knew that. He could. He I get it, but there's some of this is a little selfish. If I'm a fan, you did what?
Well,
this because you needed to augment a fragile ego that you shouldn't even be worried about. You're worried about legacy. You got a legacy.
But at some point, and I get it's easy to, like you say, he's been the third best option on this team, or he's the third most important piece of this team. Like in a way, I can see that pride.
He is the other. He is the Tony Parker. That's the best application. Draymond's the lion, the heart and soul, the reason, the furnace. Steph's the show pony. He's the dude, the man. He's going to get us there. And Clay was the other guy that filled in the gaps, just like Tony Parker. His recognition came late. He was never, anything more than an all-star. He got MVP, but, he was never all MVP, all league kind of stuff. And it all came late. And then when time ended in San Antonio, he still had something to prove to himself, had to go to Charlotte. And it didn't work out. He was a bit player on a bad team. And you get the sense that Klay Thompson's going to be a bit player on an average team that overachieved last year. I mean, they're still a fifth seed. This was not a team. He didn't jump on a front runner. They're still going to be a fifth seed next year.
I agree. But what they did do was value him.
And loved him and dated him and gave him flowers and told him how pretty he was. And I don't blame him, but his legacy has not changed. But it won't.
And I think, but there is something to like, hey, we want you because of what we think you can do. Not because of what you did 5 years ago.
And the total, it's not you, it's me thing. The moment he's gone, now they're willing to pay Lowry. They're willing to jump all in on Lowry Marketing, who does my job. So it was me. It was obviously me that you were tired of.
Well, remember they tried to trade for Paul George.
Mm-hmm.
They were really going after Paul George, and Klay Thompson's like, hey, we haven't figured out my thing yet. And they said, yeah, we'll get to that.
The Spurs never did that to Tony. I mean, they never actively chased his replacement ever.
This was like, I get why Clay feels disrespected.
I do too.
I also feel like, the Warriors can look at it as we gave this dude $70 million to rehab his knee. And they did. There's no two ways about it. He was one of the highest paid players in the league and didn't play a single game for 2 years. I see both sides of it, but I think I'm with Clay that, like, man, I would want someone who thinks I can do something for them now instead of they're doing me a favor by bringing me back. I don't he doesn't look at the Mavericks as doing him a favor. He looks at the Mavericks as like wanting him to play there. Had he signed with the Warriors, especially if Steph had gone to the front office and said, "Hey, I really want Clay here," then he's like, they're doing a favor to his buddy.
Well, Tim took less money year after year after year. I mean, to have your superstar advocate for you, I don't think it's a bad deal. In fact, I look at it as the opposite. I mean, the superstar can go, I can do it without you. I love you, but, if you're gone, I won't notice. I'm that good. This superstar is saying, you know what? We need him. Let me go advocate for you, man. Let me get every penny we can for you. I don't look like but I don't have the mentality of a superstar. I don't take things the way superstars take them and use them for motivation. And obviously he uses, if I was good enough, I wouldn't need Steph. Well, Manu probably got more money because Tim said, you know what, I'm gonna back off on this. Make sure you get paid. I don't look at that as a negative thing. Obviously he does. I don't want to be propped up by my other guy. I want it on my own merits.
But I think the difference between those two scenarios is, like you said, the Spurs never did the disrespectful, like, we'll get to you when we get to you, Manu. And that's what they did with Clay.
Yeah,
they said,
they had an offer 2 years ago that never changed. They never upped it. This is what we're going to give you. If you want to stay and, be team friendly, here it is. I get the way he was, but I also at the same time go, Steph, give him a call, man. I would be the one telling him, hey, go to the front office. I can use an extra $5 million.
I don't know. I kind of respect the idea that he felt this. He felt like the organization spit in his face, and he said, "Okay, I'll go where I want it." And you know what? It's funny because the Warriors are. I don't want to call them a sinking ship.
Oh, they are.
But they're not getting back to a title with this squad. Like the idea that they got that last ring is so incredible to me and such a testament to what that organization is. But it will be a situation where Steph's going to be able, or Clay's going to be able to cross his arms and look at them probably miss the playoffs and go, "Yep, I made the right call."
Or there's also the potential for a miserable long season. Injuries flare up. Dallas reverts back to the Dallas we saw in January, where it's, my turn basketball, and this collapses. And he was the weight and the reason for the collapse, that he showed up and the expectations and the money, and he's taken the place of this. And now we got to figure out new stuff.
But you know what?
It could easily go way south.
He's a $16 million a year guy. If a $16 million a year guy is the guy who's making your organization sink or swim, that's an organizational problem.
I'm agreeing with you. Again, we're putting Dallas like they were the number one seed in the West and the odds-on team to get there, and they should have been there, and they earned everything, and they were primed. No, they fell not ass backwards, but the matchups and the young teams that they went through, it's not quite as bad as what we saw go through in Boston, where they never had to play anybody. But it wasn't. This was not forecast. And if you say, what's your plan for next year? Do you expect to see Dallas in the Western Conference Finals? I don't. Even with Clay, I don't expect to.
No,
to
I don't.
See
I don't
there.
either.
So, what are we getting, Clay? What exactly is the benefit here, other than putting on a different uniform and making some more money? I don't see a title in your future. You're going to be competitive, but I don't think it pushed them over the top.
No,
he's going to regret it, man. I think at the end of the day, how often does this work?
I don't see. That's the thing. I think, like you said, in Clay's mind, I've got my rings. I'm going to the Hall of Fame. My legacy's set.
I hope he realizes that.
He's like, I want to go play for an organization where I feel wanted. And there is something to that, man. If you've ever been at a job where you felt like
Oh yeah.
Like you weren't appreciated or valued. There is a lot. It's one of those things in life that if you don't have it, you realize it. If you do have it, you probably take it for granted. But like, if you're doing work that's meaningful to you, like not everybody gets to do that. If you are supported at work by upper management, like if there's a real belief in you,
you ain't leaving, and you'll
that's
stay
a
for
valuable
less.
thing.
Yeah.
And sometimes you don't realize it until you don't have it.
Name the number of dudes that have done what Clay is doing and see how often it's been a success. And I would say the success rate is under 20%.
But I guess it depends on what success is.
Well,
and for Clay, it's like, you know what, man, I'm going somewhere where the organization values me. They want me here, and win or lose, I'm at least riding with an owner who believes in me and thinks that I've still got some gas in the tank.
Yeah, go 0 for 8 and see how much they appreciate.
Yeah. Well, they let that dude what's his name?
He's living in Oakland now.
Yeah, they let him shoot 8 times. They didn't
He's
care.
gone.
All right. When we come back, we will. We teased this yesterday. Oh, you know what? We'll do that at 8:30. We'll get into the NIL stuff. We'll hit a little bit more on Lauri Markkanen, and we're gonna get into some college basketball stuff and some college football stuff a little bit later. The winners and losers of college football realignment. But coming up next, we'll finish up our Lauri Markkanen discussion. It is the Morning Huddle on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Joe sings it, I'll do it better. It's the last water softener you're ever gonna own. That is a Kinetico water softener. You want to find out for yourself, call them today. They will come out and put a Kinetico in your home without asking you for a penny. It's unheralded, but I think it's kind of necessary because, a water softener is one of those things you don't think about until you need it, until you realize that you've gone way down the road and there's going to be costly repairs. And then after the repairs, you're going to get a Kinetico headed off at the pass. Call Kinetico today and get a system that's going to protect your house, going to filter your water, going to give you the smart solutions and everything that is required to take care of you and your family in your home. 656 Pure, they'll come out and for 90 days, you'll experience what so many San Antonians already know. They got a water softener that's going to treat their home like they treat their home. It'll not let it get dirty. They'll keep the pipes clean and make sure your appliances last longer than they should. If there's ever anything required, they have the best warranty you're going to have. I've been told that. I've never had to use it. Call your local water experts. Call Kinetico today and explore the possibilities of what Kinetico can do in your home, starting with one just in there. Call them today, find out for sure, and I know you're going to thank me later.
It's The Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons at 2.
Coming up on The Blitz, what is the latest for the Spurs and the NBA free agency period?
The latest rumors and any breaking news, we'll have it for you. Plus, it's the day before the 4th. Besides hot dogs, what's going on your grill? We're talking about it on The Blitz, starting at 2.
The Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons at 2 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
GiveMeTheVin.com salutes The Movies. The science fiction comedy film Back to the Future, starring Michael J. Fox as Marty McFly, was released in American theaters on this day in 1985. Also on this day, Gimme the Vin made an offer to buy a 1981 DeLorean DMC-12, proving once again that there isn't a vehicle on the market that Gimme the Vin won't make an offer to buy, with or without a flux capacitor.
Sell us your car. GiveMeTheVin.com. So easy you can do it in your underwear.
Did you know your skin is the largest organ of your body? Huh? That's why you should shower with Old Spice Super Hydration Body Wash instead of plain old bar soap. Love your skin by super hydrating it with vitamin B3 and glorious notes of vanilla and shea. Did you know that my super hydrated skin is the second largest organ of my body? The first is my heart. Old Spice. Men have skin too. Old Spice Super Hydration Body Wash. 24/7 renewing moisture with daily use.
They say health is wealth, and I could not agree more. That's why if you or somebody in your life is living with everyday aches and pains, I want to tell you about Relief Factor. And I'm telling you, I can feel the difference. Relief Factor is a daily supplement that helps fight pain naturally. Naturally. Now that's a big deal. Developed by doctors. Relief Factor's unique formula of ingredients all work together to help support your body's response to inflammation. Instead of masking pain for a couple of hours, Relief Factor actually helps reduce or even eliminate your pain for good. Whether it's neck, back, joint, or muscle pain, If you're looking to feel better, live better, give Relief Factor a try. In 3 weeks, you will know if it's working because you'll feel it. For instance, I was sent Relief Factor to try, and I've been taking it every single day. I'll tell you what, I feel the difference every day. Go to relieffactor.com or call 1-800-4RELIEF. That's 1-800-4RELIEF. Save on your first order. Don't let pain tell you how to live. Fight back naturally with Relief Factor. These products and statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease or condition.
Happy birthday, America! Mr. W. Fireworks has been your family-owned and operated fireworks provider since 1963. We are proud to guarantee the lowest prices on fireworks around. And the biggest selection, too. That's right. Here at Mr. W. Fireworks, we have the lowest prices on fireworks in the area and with the biggest selection to choose from. At Mr. W. Fireworks, we have been doing this a long time. We never charge any hidden fees, and we pass our savings down to the customer. Find our location near you at MrWFireworks.com.
Hi, my name is Jason Thompson. I'm an attorney here in San Antonio representing people and families who've been injured in traffic collisions since 1994. The reason it's important to call me as soon as possible is the number of tricks and mistakes you can make, even up to talking to insurance companies, which I'm going to tell you not to do. And also some of the billing practices at our local hospitals. And over the last year, I've seen more and more of this, where hospitals are asking patients to assign benefits they do not have to assign, all in an effort to get more money to the hospital than they would receive if all you used was your health insurance. When you call, I will give you your options. We'll talk about your case. And all of that is free of charge. If you or a family member has been injured in a traffic accident, whether car, commercial truck, motorcycle, I want you to call me as soon as possible after the collision. My number, 210-900-0400. That's 210-900-0400. Or go to my website at alawyerforus.com.
If you can't sleep because of annoying knee pain, that's a problem. If you stop running because your feet always hurt, that's a problem. If your elbow, shoulder, and neck pain make it impossible for you to do your job, that is a problem. And it's time to finally do something about it. I'm Dr. Jason Garrett from Arasti. At Arasti, we fix pain fast. No medications, no injections. Arasti treatment is completely natural and non-invasive. Plus, we accept most insurance plans. There's a location near you. Visit Arasti.com. That's AIRROSTI.com. Arasti, we fix pain fast.
The biggest pro football contests in Vegas are back. Circa Survivor and Circa Million are now up to a record $16 million in guaranteed prizes. 2 ways to win and no rate. Circa Survivor contestants select one team each week with no point spread. Last the longest to win it all with $10 million guaranteed. In Circa Million, make 5 picks against the spread each week for your share of $6 million guaranteed through quarterly and full season payouts. Enter in Nevada. Play from anywhere. Visit circasports.com for details.
You're listening to the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
Dig a little through the Twitter sphere on Lauri Markkanen, and you'll see several teams whose fan bases are advocating to get this job done. I mean, you're still seeing the Warriors, you're still seeing the Lakers, the Pelicans. We're talking all the way up and down the league. There's a lot of people. Daryl Morey, please get Lauri Markkanen. You got a pretty good roster there in Philly already, and like, yeah, go get him.
The good news is they can't afford him.
I would think not.
But then again, what we saw in Boston over the last couple of days, you can always afford them. It's just when do you want to pay the piper?
I've also heard about Golden State maybe making a play for Buddy Hield.
Now, that seems more appropriate to where Golden State finds themselves.
Markkanen just he doesn't fit the timeline right now to me with Golden State. Like, he's not a part of a rebuild.
In fact, he'll like they still have playoff aspirations. I don't think they have championship aspirations, and Markkanen will play a key role in that. But there's no championship around the corner in Golden State. They're fully aware of that. This will just prolong the rebuild process. It won't speed it up. It's not going to enhance it. They're going to win some games because of him. I mean, he's not a net negative. He's a net positive. And when they do finally get to the point where they are winning, That's when they're really going to have to pay him.
Yeah. And then there's a lot of Lakers fans who are pie in the sky on what they can possibly get at it. Like, this is whoever wrote this is clearly a Lakers fan. Lakers get Lauri Markkanen, Walker Kessler, Lonnie Walker sign and trade, Jordan Clarkson, Trey Murphy, and Herbert Jones.
Good Lord.
Jazz get Gabe Vincent, Rui Hachimura, Jalen Hood-Schifino, protected 2029 first and 2 second-round picks. The Pelicans get D'Angelo Russell and Cam Reddish. Yeah, I'm sure everybody's thrilled about that.
I can come up with some pretty good trade scenarios too if you'll give me a moment.
No one wants to help the Lakers.
I will happily take Rui Hachimura and other dudes.
But
sure.
Listen, man, I think the Spurs would be deadly with this dude. This is what we've been talking about, the kind of player they've been looking for. An athlete that is has got a real shot, is a spacer, is a finisher.
Better on the board work than given credit, can play in the paint.
And this is a guy who is ready to start winning. Like,
we hope.
I mean, he does all the things you want your guys to do.
Okay, let me play a devil's advocate here. This will be, he spent a year in Arizona.
In college, right?
In college. Spent a year in college. Went to Chicago initially.
Mm-hmm.
As soon as they got to know him, they were ready to let him go. As soon as he didn't finish out that first contract, as soon as the contract was done, he was done. He gets to Utah, much heralded. As soon as that contract expires, they kind of like keep him. They haven't made an offer. There's something missing. This will be now a couple of teams that have said, yeah, I've had enough of that. So it's not everything Spurs fan dreams of. There's something that we are not talking about. I don't know enough about him or his personality or his game to say what that is. But this is two teams now that have had a taste at him, had a chance to keep him, and said, no, we're good. You can go ahead and move on.
Could it? Well, Cleveland moved on from him too, because he went from.
I forgot. That's right. That's 3 teams in 4 or 5 years that have decided, you know what? It looked good, and we're not mad at you, but you're more than welcome to go.
Now, for Cleveland, remember they had Mobley and Allen on the floor already, and they thought having a third big was going to be.
It got in the way.
It was too much.
Yeah, he got in the way.
And listen, man, they traded him for Donovan Mitchell. Like he was.
It was a valuable move. Yeah, it was quantified. But what happened in Chicago? What happened in Cleveland? What happened in Utah? We're talking about 3 teams, whether it was for value or not, decided, you know what? We'll be better off without you.
Okay, now I'll explain the Utah one. I think the Utah one is pretty easy. Utah, he's ready to win now. Like, he's the kind of guy you don't want to pay him if you're not ready to start winning. The Jazz they're in the early stages of a mass rebuild.
Why isn't he part of the rebuild? Why is he going to be part of our rebuild and he's not good enough for their rebuild? I'm being at the devil's advocate here. He does not come here as this unquestioned perfect piece that there are some issues. He's a well-traveled vet now.
He is the best player on.
You're right.
A team that's devoid of any.
I don't think he's the best player on
ready talent.
He's not the best player on Utah's team.
You're crazy if you don't think that.
I will.
There might be upside with
Jordan
some guys.
Clarkson is a better player than he is.
Wow.
I think Walker Kessler has an arc that provide. I don't think he's the best player on this Utah team.
Okay.
I don't.
This is basically a 24-9 guy who shoots 40% from 3, rebounds.
I'm not discrediting him, but if again, this is another team that said, yeah, you're pretty good, but we're willing to move on.
And with Chicago, you know why Chicago moved? Why they benched him and eventually traded him for Daniel Tice? It could just be that Chicago's a dummy organization that doesn't know talent.
All of them now are dumb. I'm just trying to question and put some reason as to why this cat is available today.
I think with the exception of Chicago, I think Cleveland had a good reason to do it. He was a young piece, and they were like, "We've got a chance to get Donovan Mitchell, who's could be the guy for this team, and is now their franchise player." In Utah, they're not going to re-sign this guy to a long-term deal when they most of their roster is like a first or second year guy. Like most of those guys are barely ready to play in the NBA. It doesn't make, because they are not as far along in the process as the Spurs are because they don't have a son.
But why hasn't he taken them further? If you're saying he's that good, shouldn't they be further along?
The Jazz didn't want to win. The Jazz, since the Gobert trade, the Jazz have purposely tried not to win.
I think there are reasons and excuses, and we'll find our in between. But he is not an unblemished.
No,
thing,
like I said,
he's not coming pristine.
No, I think he's probably a top 30 player in the league. But you know what? That puts him in pretty good company of guys who are also flawed, but you still value that. Like Paolo Banchero was one of those guys. I'm thinking that is in that same class as him. Domantas Sabonis, I think, is in the same category of player as him. Those are players that, like, are they perfect? No. Is Pascal Siakam perfect? No. But those are the kind of players that aren't an A-list superstar, but man, they've got more than probably the average Joe thinks.
I think you just described Lowry's highest aspiration is right there. I think when you talked about those guys, that's what everybody's expecting him to be that, especially when he gets paid. And he hasn't yet. He hasn't reached that level yet. Every expectation, but for whatever reason, free teams have tried. And for whatever reason, whether it was intentional, it was set up, it was change of management, he didn't become part of the long-term plan. And we are going to pay a guy a lot of money if this happens and give up a lot of capital for a guy that three teams have looked at and said, well, not for us.
I think, I disagree on the Utah thinking that. Again, with Cleveland, of course they trade him for Donovan Mitchell. He was, at the time, he was like a 15 points a game guy. When he got to Utah, he jumped from 15 points a game to 26 points a game, like overnight.
His usage rate jumped. Yeah, I'm playing devil's advocate here. I'm not taking my appreciation of him has not changed, but I don't want to get lost in this momentum of we must go get him and making him, if we don't get him, the world collapses. No,
it doesn't.
No,
the world doesn't collapse. But I believe if you don't go get a guy like this, it just takes longer. That's all. And again, I see both sides of it too. Like you talked about, you can see if they decide we're not going to go with Lauri Markkanen, we'd rather keep both these draft picks and draft two guys next year. We think one of them will be special, and then we'll try and fill in a piece later down the road. That's fine too. I just think that a player, if you look at the top 30 players in the league, how often do they come available is the question.
And true statement, especially one like him.
And it's very rare. And not only is it rare that they come available, but it's rare that you can get them to a place like San Antonio.
In a time where he's still growing. I completely agree with all of this. But as we negotiate, or we hope we're negotiating with Utah, I think that the points that I brought up, I hope are brought up with him. Why? Again, if he's that valuable, if you look at him like a Mikal Bridges, was what I would be looking at him if I was Danny Ainge, it's going to take you 4 number ones or the equivalent of such thing. Why is this now the 4th team in 5 years? Why, if he's that good, explain to me why.
Yeah.
I mean, you're going to have to give me a reason or give me something else to go along with it.
Like I said, I think the Cleveland one you've got to excuse, because is he Donovan Mitchell?
It
No.
was a poor attempt at a good idea is what it was. I mean, they saw the future. They wanted a front line of 7-footers, and one of them needed to be able to shoot. They had a bad coach. It was a bad situation. He got to where when he got to, the Chicago thing was just a team in disarray. It wasn't going to fit.
It's a dummy team.
And Utah, you're right. They were tanking and they got some value to sell some tickets. And the moment that they could extricate themselves without having to pay him too much, they're going to cut him loose. Yes. But that also shows he hadn't lived up to what everybody had hoped might work. If it had worked out, he'd have never left in Cleveland. His fault, no, their fault, nobody's fault. If it had worked, he'd have never been out of Cleveland.
If they traded him for Donovan
freaking
Mitchell.
But if they had won, Mitchell wouldn't even have been a thing. They would have had a front line, the likes of which they wouldn't have needed a Mitchell. But it didn't work. Not just his fault, but it didn't work.
To me, the idea that he's turned into a star on a team now that he's had a chance to be the guy is promising.
Yeah, it is. It was exactly what was required for teams to talk, $100 million about.
Unfortunately for Utah, he's better right now than what their timeline is looking for.
Yeah,
and I think that's why
you've expanded exactly that. You gave the reasons, and
Okay.
I'm trying to find the excuse.
All right. When we come back, we teased this yesterday about NIL and the lawsuits that are coming to the NCAA now. I want to get into how fair this is and really how much of this can the NCAA really take before the NCAA just goes away. I think it's a really interesting discussion. Got a legal mind here on the panel, so we'll hear what Rob has to say about it. It is the Morning Huddle on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It is the time. It is the high holy weekend for grillers. If you stand over a flame, you've got to show on July the 4th. It is your Super Bowl, and a great meal always starts with a great meat coming from Tri-County Meat Market. They got you set up. They're ready for you. If you're ready to cook for the fam and the friends on a 4th of July, how about a fine outside skirt steak? And people are going to go, what? What is that? Well, it's a cut of meat that's been pretty prominent. It's just not very common in the Texas region. Think beefy, think upgraded, upscale fajita type meat. That's on special right now. St. Louis pork ribs. Yeah, they got them all trimmed and ready for you along with the baby backs. And, of course, they're all beef hot dogs. Those are always. And now, don't forget your poppers. They are made in-house. They're huge. 2 of each of the poppers, they've got them ready to go. Go grab those when you head over to Tri-County. 2 locations over on Huebner, out on Ralph Fair. Fill your bag for 5 for $25. Grab some of those St. Louis ribs. Get some beef hot dogs and some skirt steak and have the 4th you deserve. 20% off those things. Head to Tri-County today. I know you're going to be thanking me later.
94.1.
Joel, I'm proud to introduce my latest in-summer relaxation relief-cation. I call it the Quarter Moon Grill and Go. It's a stainless steel propane gas grill with a full-size urinal. If you're gonna grill and you gotta go, it's the Grill and Go.
Folks, at Quarter Moon Plumbing, Heat, and AC, we fix plumbing and AC issues fast and at a fair price. 210-651-5899.
Grill and
Go away, Nigel. Quarter Moon Plumbing, Heat, and AC.
License number TACLA 88589E and 16004. Hey, John, why so glum?
I just got let go. The company's downsizing. This is the 3rd time in the last 2 years. I'm done with this.
Have you thought about My Computer Career? I've heard they can train you for a career in IT in just a few months, including cybersecurity and the basics of AI. And you don't need prior training or experience. Now that's a recession-resistant career.
Wow, thanks. I'll check them out.
Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation. mycomputercareer.edu. Financial aid is available for qualified students, including the GI Bill.
It's Lee Come Key.
Welcome back to the Lee Come Key request line. Ready for something with a kick that's still smooth? Talk about a hot time at dinner time.
Crisscross.
This is America's #1 spicy mayo and non-GMO verified sriracha. It's the Sriracha Slide coming at you from Lee Come Key.
Turn it out.
Sriracha Slide on over to srirachalove.com to check it out.
Sriracha real smooth.
Guys, did you know your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED? And right now, Revive Men's Health San Antonio will check your testosterone for free. They've helped thousands of men since 2011 feel and perform better. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Schedule your free testosterone test, exam, and consultation today. Call 210-615-7777. That's 210-615-7777. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Hi, my name is Jason Thompson. I'm an attorney here in San Antonio representing people and families who've been injured in traffic collisions since 1994. The reason it's important to call me as soon as possible is the number of tricks and mistakes you can make, even up to talking to insurance companies, which I'm going to tell you not to do. And also some of the billing practices at our local hospitals. And over the last year, I've seen more and more of this, where hospitals are asking patients to assign benefits they do not have to assign, all in an effort to get more money to the hospital than they would receive if all you used was your health insurance. When you call, I will give you your options. We'll talk about your case. And all of that is free of charge. If you or a family member has been injured in a traffic accident, whether car, commercial truck, motorcycle, I want you to call me as soon as possible after the collision. My number, 210-900-0400. That's 210-900-0400. Or go to my website at alawyerforus.com.
The best things in life, they come in twos. 2 scoops of ice cream, 2 tacos. And now for a limited time, get our best deal of the year. Buy any phone when you switch to Consumer Cellular and get 2 months of service free. That's right, the same fast, reliable nationwide coverage as Big Wireless, now with 2 months free. Proof the best things in life really do come in twos. Visit consumercellular.com or call 1-888-FREEDOM. Second and third month of monthly base service fee waived for new customers with the purchase of a phone and activation by July 31st, 2024. Taxes, fees, and third-party charges will apply. See website for additional details.
Whether it's expanding your business, upgrading your equipment, or covering payroll, you can score big with swishfunding.com, the slam dunk solution for your business funding needs. If you have at least $25,000 in monthly revenue and been in business for at least 1 year, qualifying's easier than a layup. We fund up to $5 million in 24 hours. Go to swishfunding.com, SWISH funding.com, swishfunding.com.
He loves sports. He loves talking about sports. And just like you, he's got a lucky jersey that hasn't been washed in 6 seasons or since the Cowboys last won a Super Bowl.
We get to suck on that all week.
He's Jason Minix. Afternoons at 2 with The Blitz. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. It's the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Feels like a new jam.
It's called No Other Way.
Takes me down to the Dominican.
Got kind of a Afro jazz.
Yeah. Taking you home on a Wednesday. Girl.
See, we all aspire to be the FM guy. Play them tunes late at night.
It's hump day, all right. It's me humping you.
I'm out.
Oh, okay.
Wow,
Well,
what just happened there?
Sorry.
I got weird.
I thought you wanted to
Turn
be
the lights back on. What just happened in here?
We hinted at this yesterday, and I said, you know what, we don't have time to get into it, so we saved it for today. But 16 former collegiate basketball players are suing the NCAA. Mario Chalmers is amongst them. Jason Terry is amongst them. Ryan Boatwright. Those are probably the biggest names, but they are suing the NCAA basically for using their NIL in a time where, like, even though the NCAA had rights to those players' likeness, before they were paying players, I guess is the simplest way to do it.
Well,
or at least
above board.
Yeah.
Right.
Before NIL existed. So now they're saying that if you're going to use highlights of me hitting the shot that forced overtime against Memphis, you're going to have to pay up because that's my image and likeness being used there.
When did Chalmers win a championship?
That was 2008.
Okay. So that was...
Memphis could not hit free throws.
2024.
Yeah.
So that was 16 years ago. And that is, in fact, the key here. Because this lawsuit, it comes in on the heels of a group of settled lawsuits that the NCAA came to an agreement to set aside $2.8 billion that they're going to pay out to about 14, 15, 16,000 former college athletes that never got the opportunity to take advantage of the NIL, but for instances just like this, didn't get compensated. It might have been a lady basketball player that was used in a local commercial just because she had the jersey on and didn't get paid. They decided we're going to come up with all this money, and over the next decade, we're going to pay all you off. Guess what, though? Chalmers did this 16 years ago. So he's just outside of this settlement. And all these guys, I would bet, performed outside the envelope of 10 years. So they're going, okay, well, you're offering reparations to them. Me, that highlight's been running on TV for 15 years, and I haven't gotten a penny. I get their point. I'm a little afraid they're outside the group of settlement. I think they might be outside the envelope. You can't reparate everybody.
Well, that's what they're asking.
That's what they're
asking for, and
they have they have the grounds, but this isn't. This is a tough one for them.
You use the word reparations, and
it's a tough word, right?
It is, but it's the word that I thought of yesterday that most matched this, and I was scared to use it because obviously it's a touchy subject, but that's what it feels like. It feels like, hey, man. We were in a time where we weren't being treated the way we were supposed to be. We weren't getting paid for what we were doing. You guys were putting money in your pockets. We didn't get any of it. Now this generation is getting some, but where's the payback for the past? Where's the payback for the old school guys? And I wonder where the line gets drawn there, and it's like the NFL had to do this at one point. Remember, the NFL had to start taking care of brain health for players that are like played in the 50s.
But no, not everybody. Even their settlement stopped. There's still a level at which if you played the year before, you don't get anything. You can't. You have to delineate, and then you have to go, how much money do I got, and how much can we offer? And they're not going to offer blanket if money. And they went valid claim. Yes. Is he going to get any of it?
But so
I
does
doubt it.
Grant Hill and Christian Leitner. So does.
At what point do you draw the line
and
say we can't pay all the way back to the 70s? There's just not enough. It can't be done.
Does Jimmy V's foundation come after him and say, you guys keep using his, the video of him cutting down the net? Like, what do we? How come I'm not getting any dollars off? Like, how far back do you go? It just
now there's I'm looking at what's going on. While this settlement took care of a few of the antitrust cases, there are 4 more floating around out there that have to do in individual states how much you're going to get back. And the hope was that when the NCAA settled and offered the billions, that all these other and sundry various other smaller lawsuits would just kind of go away. Well, it doesn't appear that's the case because I get the sense that most people looking at this going, 2.7 billion, you still got more in your pocket, man. You guys still got some more money. This is the first contract you signed. There's more TV deals that are going to happen over the next couple years. You can find enough to go help my man Chalmers and Boatwright and all these dudes that played way back when. You got it. Don't plead poor. We know you got it. And I get the sense that they're just going to run this out till they get paid. And they deserve it. Considering how far we've come and the guys that are getting paid, drawing the line at 10 years seems a little short. I'd have gone back to 2000. I probably would be the line I'd go to, or at least up until the social media part took over, maybe 2010.
But that's the thing. If you go back to 2000,
that's probably too far.
People in 1999 are bitching. If you go back to 2010, people in 2000. This is the NCAA's problem all the time. At tournament time, it's like the 65th team was bitching. So they said, you know what? We'll expand to 68. Now the 69th team is like, how did we not get in? Well, and I guess we got to expand to get there's never enough.
But if you're having to find a line to draw, I would go, okay, when did Twitter start paying its influencers? At what point could an individual become a brand?
Well, it wasn't in 2008.
No, it was probably 10, 11, 12.
I think on the generous side.
So I would go to that date and say, okay, this was the point at which, as a college athlete, you could have become your own brand and maybe gone and got some money. So I'll go back to whatever that date is. Let's agree on that. Because I do think that is a pivot point time. Once players in college and pro became a brand unto themselves and could be their own channel of delivery, where the advertisers come directly to them. They didn't have to go to a TV deal. They didn't have to do radio deal. Go directly to them, put on this hat and tweet it out. That's the moment where you became a brand and could start making money. If we can agree on that, that's where I'd.
Well, Twitter for the dudes, Instagram for the girls.
Whatever the case might be.
Yeah.
But that's when we go back there. They've got some standing. It's going to be a long draw because we're talking about a payout over a decade.
And if this lawsuit ends up working out, you're going to see the next generation back saying, hey, how about us? Because remember, and this happened like a month ago, the 83 national title team, the North Carolina State national title team, sued the NCAA for the sort of the same thing.
Well, the good news is the further back you go, the less video and audio there is that exists that would be the basis for getting paid. And I think 83, the fact that, just because of that shot, they're able to probably have an argument, but most guys don't have any audio video of them that they could get paid for at all. At NIL, this is about, getting paid for your name, image and likeness. If there was no image or likeness of you to pay you for, how do you expect us to pay you? So I get the missed shot with Lorenzo Charles. That's been on loops for 40 years. Yeah, he might deserve a penny. He might deserve it. But the guy in the game that you don't see, why does he deserve a penny? I didn't use his name, image, or likeness.
I guess the thought for me is like, man, you guys, this is what everybody was signed up for. You all knew the rules at the time.
There were, yeah.
You knew you couldn't get paid for it.
Back.
You can't say, well, I couldn't get paid for it then. I should get paid for it now. Like, I don't know. It's like if you internships are kind of going this way, where now it's most places don't allow unpaid internships anymore.
For all kinds of employment laws. Yeah, you have to pay.
But imagine now, like if everybody who did an unpaid internship came back and said, hey, I interns, where's my money? Like the world doesn't work that way. Like there was an agreement in place at the time, and now time has decided that agreement was unfair. Now players going forward will be treated in a more fair manner. It doesn't mean that everybody who was treated unfairly, it's like they're having a hard time getting guys who are have weed charges out of prison, because when weed was illegal and you still had X amount of weed, if I got caught with that amount of weed today, I'm not going to prison. But at the time when it was a federal crime, it was like, yeah, man, you're a drug dealer. You got to go to prison. Is it fair? Not really, but they knew the rules at the time. The rules at the time were the rules you have to go by. You can't say, well, it's legal now, let me out of here. You know what I mean?
Well, they're trying. I think a very appropriate application of this, when you didn't get what other people got because you felt like you deserve it. Like I should have been around, but I wasn't. There's so many different cases that, you deal with. How far back do you go and give the help? And there's never been a right answer. I mean, you just don't get there. But this is a situation where there is money to be found. And I do think they're going to expand it. I don't know if they're going to go all the way back to 20, whatever, but I do think there's so much money that it's untapped. And now we have hedge funds moving in. There's money to be had, and lawyers see it. And there's going to be more cases. Somebody's going to get paid. Yeah. But I don't know how far back they're going to go.
All right. On the other side, I want to look at this realignment winners and losers in college football. Who's benefiting? Who's losing out? We'll talk about that next. Morning Huddle on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
You're listening to the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson. KTFM Floresville.
Listen to this station anytime, anywhere on Odyssey. Odyssey is your new audio home for all the music, news, sports, and podcasts that matter to you. Odyssey. That's AUDACY.
They say health is wealth, and I could not agree more. That's why if you or somebody in your life is living with everyday aches and pains, I want to tell you about Relief Factor. And I'm telling you, I can feel the difference. Relief Factor is a daily supplement that helps fight pain naturally. Naturally. Now that's a big deal. Developed by doctors. Relief Factor's unique formula of ingredients all work together to help support your body's response to inflammation. Instead of masking pain for a couple of hours, Relief Factor actually helps reduce or even eliminate your pain for good. Whether it's neck, back, joint, or muscle pain, if you're looking to feel better, live better, give Relief Factor a try. In 3 weeks, you will know if it's working because you'll feel it. For instance, I was sent Relief Factor to try, and I've been taking it every single day. I'll tell you what, I feel the difference every day. Go to ReliefFactor.com or call 1-800-4RELIEF. That's 1-800-4-RELIEF. Save on your first order. Don't let pain tell you how to live. Fight back naturally with Relief Factor. These products and statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease or condition.
Hi, my name's Jason Thompson. I've lived in San Antonio for more than 50 years. Went to grade school, high school, and graduated from law school right here. San Antonians have trusted me as their attorney after serious injury and fatality collisions since 1994. My website is alawyerforus.com. Why a lawyer for us? Well, after several years of practice, I watched as insurance companies created their own law firms solely to defend against auto claims. Today, there are very few insurance companies that do not have their own captive law firm filled with attorneys whose job is to minimize what the insurance company has to pay on an auto claim. If you or a family member is injured in a traffic collision, you will need your own attorney. Just remember alawyerforus.com. For many lawyers you see on billboards, your case will be handled by a non-lawyer or a staff lawyer. If you call me, Jason Thompson, I will be the lawyer you speak with. The initial consultation is always free. If you or a family member needs an experienced attorney you can trust, I want you to call me, Jason Thompson. My number is 900-0400. That's 210-900-0400 or alawyerforus.com.
Don't miss the Independence Day sale at Edwin Watts Golf Shops by Worldwide Golf. Take advantage of incredible deals like 20% off all used clubs, Orange Dot apparel starting at $29.99, and all closeout shoes and bags get an extra 20% off. Shop in store or online for great Independence Day deals. Edwin Watts Golf Shops by Worldwide Golf, home of the 90-day satisfaction guarantee. Get there.
Texting enrolls you into recurring automated text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
Hey, Dan, how you doing? Haven't seen you around the gym for a while.
Yeah, I've really fallen off. Since I turned 40, I just don't get the results I used to get. Lower T.
Yeah, I went through it a while back. Once you hit 40, your body has less free testosterone. I got Nugenix Total T, and it's made a huge difference for me.
I've seen that ad on TV. Is it for real?
Oh, yeah. The key ingredient is something called Tesnor, which helps boost free and total testosterone levels to help you trim up and stay lean.
And it's made a difference for you?
Man, I feel like I'm in my 20s again, at work, in the gym, and in the bedroom.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles for people to try it for themselves?
Yeah, you just need to send them a text.
Text PRIDE to 42424 right now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T, the #1 selling testosterone booster at GNC. Plus, text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo, our most powerful fat incinerator ever, to help you get back into shape fast, absolutely free. Text PRIDE to 42424. That's PRIDE to 42424.
Guys, your testosterone level impacts your energy, drive, weight, hair loss, and even ED. Revive Men's Health San Antonio will check your T level for free. For your free T level check, exam, and consultation, call 210-615-7777 or visit revivemenshealth.com.
94.1 San Antonio's Sports Center.
In the NBA, Lowry Markkanen rumors continue. Chris Haynes of the Bleacher Report is reporting that Spurs and the Warriors are the two teams still in the mix. Speaking of the Spurs, the California Classic is in Sacramento. Starts July the 6th. The Spurs will open things up against the Hornets at 5:30 that Saturday afternoon. I'm Rob Thompson on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Sports Center is brought to you by Buyers Barricades, the Texas authority in barricade rental. BuyersBarricades.com.
From the studios of San Antonio Sports Star, reaching more sports fans than any station in South Texas. Welcome to the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson. This is 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Oh, man, Rob, can you feel it?
Tick, tick, tick. I'm already gone.
Oh, man. It's upon us, my friend. It's upon us. Realignment has taken over college football.
Oh, that's kind of like Thanksgiving, and I got that weird uncle found my address and is coming back. Hadn't seen him in 10 years. He finally got paroled. I can't wait to hear the war stories.
Well,
he's going to be moving in out back, by the way.
You're going to hear them.
Oh, my God. Here we go.
They did a story about the winners and losers in realignment. The Athletic did this. And basically they talked about this. You can be a winner or a loser in different ways, but it talks about does your chance of success increase? Does your chance of success decrease, or does it stay the same? That's what this is.
Well, we quantify success in a lot of ways.
Now, this is all about winning games.
Okay, because there's a lot of schools right now that specifically, like out of the former Pac-12 that went to the Big Ten, that they're going to view success in the paycheck that they get from the conference.
Oklahoma is about to start. Oklahoma getting an SEC check is going to be a big win.
Yes.
Now remember, those Pac-12 schools aren't getting a full share.
Not yet. You're right.
Of the Big Ten.
But even then, it's a success. They're making more than they did. They might not have the wins, but that's a pretty new building they're going to put up on campus.
But I'll start. You know what? This is a good place to start because there's only one. It's a conference that it only has one team from Texas in the conference, but now it goes from either 0 being flat, 5 being like you've had a huge bump in success, -5 being like your chances of succeeding have just gotten significantly
worse. So you're talking UTEP with the Mountain West?
I'm talking about the ACC with SMU.
Oh, that's right. They're an ACC team. I forgot. Now they're paying their own way. Are they even getting a check?
They will, but it will not be immediate.
Yeah, they're not. They're playing for free right now.
But you talk about a team, and I agree with it. SMU's a +5.
Oh, easy. They get to invite Duke in to play a basketball game, and North Carolina in once a year. Yeah, they're going to make some money.
Well, but from a college football winning standpoint, SMU has a real good chance at coming off a season where they finished in the top 25 for the first time in 40 years. And now you're going into a football conference that is, in general, very weak.
Here's a problem with this thought. I agree that the pedigree for SMU and their recruiting avenues should put them in a position to compete with Clemson and Florida State relatively quickly. But the players that are required to do that aren't going to go to SMU and travel most of their professional, their college career. So mama and daddy can't see them when he goes to Clemson and he goes to Duke and he goes on these long roadies. He'll go to Texas. He'll go to A&M. He will go to a school that mom and daddy can go play and be seen. SMU will benefit financially, but I don't think they pick up one more win on the football field. They might pick up some basketball wins. I think that their dreams of recruiting at this level, no,
I
they're
disagree.
not. I think that they are going to be a Vanderbilt.
Oh, wow. No, I disagree completely. I think SMU's going to have some success because they've got a fertile recruiting ground and they have NIL donors.
They better. I can as they have elevated their stature, so has the state. Now they don't have to worry about Baylor anymore. You know, that's not going to be. They've passed them. But the guys that they're going to need to be competitive in the ACC against the upper echelon, the ACC's, the Florida State.
What is the upper echelon?
Well, it's Clemson and Florida State.
Miami, I guess.
And Miami. To do that, the guys required aren't going to come to them. They're not going to get those guys.
We'll see. I think that what the issues you're talking about are going to be a lot more prevalent for teams like Cal and Stanford.
Oh, yeah. I think SMU's in a much better position than those schools.
Well, Cal is -5 on this rating. Yeah. Stanford's -4. So they had the worst of it. But it also gives a boost to Clemson and Florida State because the teams at the top when those teams, when the rest of the conference gets weaker,
Yes.
it's more for them to feast on.
Stanford is such an interesting. They could probably go independent.
They probably
and
could
be better off.
Yeah, they probably could. Probably should. But I don't know. There's something about having that guaranteed money coming your way. The Big Ten, who you mentioned, it got a lot more difficult for the newbies in the Big Ten. So USC, they're a -2. UCLA is a -4, the worst in the conference. Iowa goes -4. Washington is -2. So Oregon, the only of the new schools that gets a little bump, they're +2. But the schools, unsurprisingly, when those schools get negative, the teams that benefit are the top teams: Ohio State, Michigan, Penn State. Those are the teams that get the biggest bumps in competitive advantage. Let's take a look at the SEC in the new world. What's this SEC look like? There's no +5s, there's no -5s for starters.
I mean, it was already tough. It just got tougher.
There are 2 +4s.
Really?
And it's Alabama and Georgia. That tells you something right there. Like they're saying the new world it's still good for the big dogs. LSU and Texas have +3s. Florida and Ole Miss +2. Tennessee 0.
They broke
even. Auburn and Missouri -1. Arkansas and Texas A&M -2. Kentucky, Mississippi State, South Carolina, and Oklahoma -3, and Vanderbilt -4. Now,
and this is we're talking total wins.
No, this is like
just the quality of
your ability to win, like in the next couple seasons.
The thought process is because Texas and OU are joining the recruiting of getting guys to play in the SEC, and the only place you could do it in Texas was that, so they're going to lose a couple of that. I get it. No, that makes some sense.
And Oklahoma, it says for Oklahoma, for example, from 1938 to 21, so that's 83 years, Oklahoma had a Big 8 or Big 12 championship in 47 out of 83 seasons.
Oh, yeah.
Like, that's absurd. No one has ever had that kind of dominance over their conference. Something tells me that in the next 83 seasons, Oklahoma's not going to have over half the SEC titles. So it's going to be a lot tougher for them.
Yeah, they stepped in some taller cotton. But, I think we're looking at, Texas is certainly the most prepared. They're the most prepared of any school ever to change from one conference to another. Not like it happens very often, but they're ready. I mean, the table is set and they're ready to go. OU's not, for a couple of reasons, but don't discount that long lineage of football at OU. They're going to be just fine. They might stumble out of the blocks, but they're far better equipped to be successful than Arkansas is today. Far better than Missouri is, far better than the Mississippi schools. OU going to stumble into the SEC. It's not going to be an easy start, but they're going to be there eventually. This is a school that knows how to recruit. They know the game. They know how to get the coaches and get the players. They're going to be back soon enough.
I would say deep pockets, but apparently their school's bankrupt,
which is a whole other accounting story, how we can even begin that conversation. But another reason for hedge funds to move in. I agree with all of this. There is no team that's a net zero. Tennessee ain't even. Tennessee, I think everybody's status has gone up, but status means one thing and wins mean another. I think that all the SEC teams are in a better position today than they were, no matter what they are.
Yeah.
For the arrival of Texas and OU, you just are. You're better off. Competition's better. Money's better. TV's better. Everybody's better.
I think they rank Tennessee as 0 because I think Tennessee's hard to parse where they are.
Yeah, but I think, and it's 0 in comparison to everybody else, but I'll tell you, Tennessee's in a far better position than the guys across the street that didn't do anything.
Yeah.
The Florida States and all the ACC schools that just kind of stood pat. They've watched teams lap them.
Here's what it says about the Aggies. It says the best thing the Aggies had going for them in the SEC was that Texas wasn't in it.
See, that's a bunch of crap. See, that whoever wrote that has not been here. I mean, that wasn't the best thing that they were with Texas.
I agree in this way. And A&M fans would talk about this. We're getting SEC recruits now. And
we did. We benefited by that. There's no question that was There's a reason why when you see A&M guy types walking around and driving around with not an Aggie sticker, they got that on one side of the bumper, but there's an SEC sticker on the other. You didn't see a lot of Big 12 stickers on the back.
But that was the benefit
yes.
of A&M being in the SEC and Texas not, was if there were players that were swing players, you could say, hey, man, you're going to be playing in the best conference in college football. And now you can't say that.
But,
you don't have that trump card over
again,
them.
You are either going to go to Texas or to A&M. You're not choosing between either or. There's so few of those recruits. You're either an Aggie type or a Texas type. Now, they might both recruit you, but very few take official visits to both. It's either that's the pinnacle of my Texasdom. It's either Texas or A&M. There's been a couple over the years. I remember Malik Jefferson, a linebacker, kind of played the A&M back and forth to Texas card, but that's a pretty rare thing. Texas doesn't take recruits from A&M. Texas takes the recruits that might have gone to Bama, or it's not an either or decision. It really isn't. It's a different school. They recruit different types of players. Yes,
in general,
they will draw. Texas is a better place, a bigger name. I get it, but we don't. And I say we in the broadest A&M sense. It's not a lot of times in football anyway, where I'm either going to go be the running back at A&M or the running back for Texas. We're looking for different types. We're recruiting different dudes.
I agree generally. I think that's how it was historically. And I think it started when Texas went and got Ricky Williams and Texas became a national program. That's, to me, that was like the tipping point. That's when it became a tough hill to climb for A&M from a recruiting standpoint. But I think the SEC evened the odds on that a little bit.
It did. Getting away, it did help. I'm never going to dispute the benefits of a Texas program. I get it. But I also realize that now more than ever, that A&M has realized, stay in your lane. Don't try to be them. Don't try to spend with them. We got a lot of money. Spend it the right way. Get the right guys and spend it there. Don't outreach your grasp. Don't go swoop in and think you're not.
But I think
that will preclude from there's quarterbacks out there that A&M would love to have, but will never be appropriate for A&M. It just.
But that mindset that you're saying right now is great because Texas hasn't been winning. If Texas wins a championship, that we've got to catch up to that.
Well, I mean, you forget the past, but right now, the people that are in charge of the money are guys my age.
Mm-hmm.
I've ascended, lived long enough to where the people that are making the decisions are the ones that were in school in the early 90s. And when A&M was at its peak, was the late 80s, early 90s. I mean, that was when Jackie was there. National titles were right around the corner, but for some underhanded scholarship offers, Jackie's
we
still
like
there.
To call it NIL.
And that 3 or 4 years beating Texas, these are the guys that were there. We don't know the Texas beat downs. We beat y'all. I don't know what y'all, I mean, that's the attitude these guys have. So they spend it like, Texas, you're a competitor and you're worthy. But it's not like the ones that became before and after they got their ass kicked handed to them regularly as students. Now, as a fan, I've gone through it long enough to know that as long as you try to stay with Texas, you're going to lose. You just can't do it. Auburn realized it at one point. It took us a long time to realize you're not going to be Bama. You're not going to be Texas. Stay in your lane.
The Big 12 is interesting.
They're screwed
because there's not really any good football teams in the conference.
The moneymaker is gone.
But from a chance to win football games.
Oh, yeah.
And by the way, remember there's a guaranteed playoff spot here and potentially more than one.
Who do you think is prime now that Texas has lost to the SEC? Who's prime? What school? Tech, Baylor, Houston, TCU? Which of these schools that are left is going to rise and become the preeminent state school that represents Texas football, not Texas football played in the South?
Houston.
I think you're right. I think Houston is primed to take over the Big 12.
They have built up their facilities. When I say they have donors, they have a donor who's willing to spend a ton of money to keep them in competitive.
You're talking about Fertitta, right?
Yeah. And yeah, the infrastructure's there. It's not unlike Texas or Texas A&M. It's not a difficult school to get into.
And they're in a ripe recruiting ground.
No doubt.
Houston and, Traylor, I think, saw it. I think he knows that Houston's in a position to really jump out in the Big 12, and that buyout was just too big for Houston to go. But I think Baylor's in trouble. I think Baylor should be the school to take Texas over. Over the last 10 years, the football program, ups and downs, but been consistent. Basketball is through the roof.
Oh, yeah.
Other sports have been consistent, but they're not. They are not going to meet the moment. And I think Houston is, in 3 or 4 years, we're going to be talking about Houston like we talk about the other upper echelon constant contenders in the conference that they're in.
But you know who I think is going to be really serious in that new Big 12 is BYU. I think BYU in a conference where they don't have to out-talent everybody. Like it's not, because in the Big 12, it's not about how many 5 stars are going to be in the Big 12 every year. Like how many
the quarterbacks, the ones that want to sling it for 5,000 yards, and BYU's prime for that. But I will say there's always a culture thing, and they don't match the rest of this culture. It's going to be a difficult. How many guys in Texas, when BYU comes recruiting, they go, okay, you're going to go to Brigham Young. Oh, by the way, there will be no caffeine at all.
Right.
No girls at all, or we will throw you out. If we find out you're having premarital sex, you will be expelled. It's a difficult recruit.
It is. But one of the things that I've learned is, I didn't realize this, but a heavy percentage of the population of Mormons are these giant islanders.
Yeah, the Samoans, absolutely.
And I'm telling you, nothing is a difference maker more than having a team full of Samoans that just throw dudes around. And some of these guys it's almost like it's like when the NBA started to get into Africa and find these players who didn't really know basketball, but they're like, boy, if we can teach them basketball, watch this. And some of these Samoans, like they go out to these islands and they find these guys and they're like, hey, you want to go to college in the States? Okay, here's what you got to do. Knock that guy down. Man, it is, there's something to that, Rob.
I'm pretty sure the hell will freeze over. And I don't mean it because of the LDS, but the fact that a school in Utah wins the Big 12. Oh, man.
It's going to happen. Eventually, it's going to happen. It'll be sooner than later.
The ghost of Darryl Royal flipping in his grave. BYU is the champion of Texas? What?
The teams that their chances to win suffer the most in the new Big 12. Arizona State, a -3. Arizona, a -2, which makes sense. The Pac-12 was a weaker conference, and, it's not necessarily weaker than the Big 12, but they
should have jumped and gone to the Big 10. They became basketball schools the moment they went to the Big 12.
The Big 12 is an elite basketball league. You're not going to get better than that.
Down. That's
I
a good
love
thing.
it. All right, let's hit a break. Boy, we're running out of time. It's our Friday, Rob. We got some more coming for you. It's the Morning Huddle. I got some non-sports coming for you right here on 94.1.
If you're a non-sport type and you're living in pain, why? If you woke up this morning and there was something that has been bothering you for more than a week, get over yourself and call Arasti. Arasti is here to fix those problems so that you don't have to linger on and leave things off the plate and keep things off the docket because you just can't do it. Don't let pain keep you from doing things that you love. Call Arasti. Let them help you. See, Arasti providers are medical professionals that achieve the Arasti certification. It takes months and months of high-end training to become an Arasti provider because what they do is so absolutely unique. Because they fix pain in ways that, have been kind of forgotten about. It's easy to prescribe a pill and say, keep taking this, and eventually whatever the problem is might just fix itself. It's easy to recommend some surgery and long-term rehab. It's hard to go, let's fix the problem. Well, Arasti addresses it in ways that I've never seen before. I've grown up an athlete. I've worked with physical trainers and chiropractors and general practitioners and orthopods, and all dealt with long-term treatments to short-term problems. Arasti went in the very first time I dealt with them with a lower back issue. They told me what the problem was. They figured it out, and they fixed it. And in 4 visits, I was back in the game. I didn't think it was possible. I want that for you. Write this number down. It's 1-800-404-6050. The website is arosty.com. Don't worry, you can use either. You don't need a referral, and they take most insurances. What are you waiting on? Again, if it's painful, if it's keeping you out of life, call Arosty today and give them a shot. They've worked well with so many others. What are you waiting to call for? Call Arosty today. Let them fix you, and then you can thank me later.
It's The Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons at 2.
Coming up on The Blitz, what is the latest for the Spurs and the NBA free agency period?
The latest rumors and any breaking news, we'll have it for you. Plus, it's the day before the 4th. Besides hot dogs, what's going on your grill? We're talking about it on The Blitz, starting at 2.
The Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons at 2 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Celebrate July 4th with savings at Lowe's. For a limited time, save on the essentials you need to make your garden pop for summer, like Miracle-Gro 25-quart potting mix. Get 2 bags for just $16. And get up to 40% off, plus save an extra $50 on every $500 you spend on select major appliances. Hurry, these deals won't last long, because Lowe's knows summer savings. Valid through 7/10. Miracle-Gro excludes Alaska and Hawaii. Appliance savings vary based on purchase amount, excluding supply. See Lowe's.com for more details. While supplies last.
If you love to travel, Capital One has a rewards credit card that's perfect for you. With Venture X, earn unlimited double miles on everything you buy and turn everyday purchases into extraordinary trips. Plus, receive premium travel benefits like access to over 1,300 airport lounges where you just check in and chill out. Open up a world of possibilities with Capital One. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. Lounge access is subject to change. See CapitalOne.com for details.
Get the last water softener you'll ever own and tell them Dave Ramsey sent you.
The last water softener you'll ever own. Call 656-PURE. Kinetico.
Visit KineticoSA.com.
Lowe's knows owning a project means owning the right tools. And during Craftsman Days, you can save big on what you need from a brand you trust. Get a free Select V20 tool when you buy a Select Battery 2-pack. Plus, get your choice of the V20 string trimmer or leaf blower for only $99. Find these savings and more today. Lowe's knows home improvement. Valid through 7/10 while supplies last. Selection varies by location.
Were you uninvited to game night? Do you play board games with the ferocious intensity of an iron-fisted oligarch? Have friends left game night asking, how do you sleep at night? Then you should get a mattress from Mattress Firm. They can help anyone sleep. Get to Mattress Firm's July 4th sale and save $500 on Tempur-Breeze mattresses. Plus, get a $300 instant gift, all with free and fast delivery. Get matched at Mattress Firm. Sleep at night. Restrictions apply. See store or website for details.
Do summer projects your way with 4th of July savings from the Home Depot. With free delivery on over 2 million items, you can make the most of summer grilling and dig into gardening. Plus, get same-day delivery on thousands of products like power tools and storage to tackle any last-minute garage project. Summer your way with 4th of July savings from the Home Depot. How doers get more done. Order select and stock items by 4 p.m. subject to availability.
Tired of hearing scary radio ads about the IRS? Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000 or $500,000, we have a solution. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS with zero risk to you. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with a BBB. End your tax nightmare today by visiting TRA.com or call 800-488-1329. That's 800-488-1329.
Must qualify for enrollment. Results may vary.
You're locked on the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
It's showtime.
Morning Huddle, 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Wimbledon underway.
Is that
Medvedev?
That's what I
in
thought.
trouble.
That's Medvedev.
He's in trouble.
How old is Medvedev? Been around a minute.
He's my age.
Yeah.
He's my age, which is like obviously pretty young.
Yeah, he's
pretty young.
Do we have any soccer today?
We have the same haircut,
Can
me
I-
and Daniil. If I let mine grow out, if I let my lettuce grow, that's what I'd look like.
That's why he wears a hat, man.
No, he's not the one wearing the hat.
that's
He's
right.
the one. He's the one who he's not fully covered.
I appreciate the stash.
Yeah, there it is. Look at that. If I let mine grow out, it'd start about right here. I just never wanted to be that guy. Never want to be that guy who's like trying to fight the good fight to keep.
You had a potential
keep
for
some
a
hair.
comb forward, a comb around.
I was like, no, man, I'm just gonna lean into it and accept it. Like this, he not only has like this part is gone, but he has like a little slide, like little thing that comes down in the middle, like
a little Florida phallus that hangs down there.
I just never understood it. Like Homer Simpson, I never understood why he kept that squiggle on the back. Like, why not just shave the whole thing? It would have looked so much better.
I never quite got it. I never quite got the
Charlie Brown. I understand. When you're at a certain age, you're like, man, maybe something's going to grow in here. But Homer Simpson's a fully developed adult. He knew that was the end of his hair, and he kept that squiggle.
Well, you got Marge. That's all that mattered.
Oh,
I blame the women for men's hairstyles.
Marjorie Bouvier. Oh,
women's hairstyles. Men's hairstyles are directly responsible by women. Women, they cause all this.
And man, women cause problems. I'm going to tell you about a couple problems women cause. You know what? Florida woman yesterday got arrested. She went to jail because she attacked her boyfriend.
He deserved it.
And I'm okay with piercings on a gal. I think piercings can be fun, even. But I think there's a certain amount of face piercings is like.
I was going to say, there's some places that we've gone a little far.
So this gal's got the double nose piercings here.
All right.
And then has this one right.
Oh, yeah. Nice between the eyeballs.
That
little piece of skin right there, but on the nose bridge.
Interesting look. Not my style, but
lead her around like a Hereford bull. This is
just
on the front.
It's just a dot. It's not a ring. These are like studs,
like drilled in.
I know. I don't know how they do it, but yeah, they find a way like to get through that skin. I'm not totally sure. I'm not a piercing expert.
Well, report back, please.
I will. I'll look into it.
You got a long weekend. I hope to see something.
Jillian Oygen, who is 22. Was arrested, and it's because she found that her boyfriend was being unfair. He didn't want to cuddle.
Well,
he apparently was like okay having the sex, but then after the sex, he didn't want to touch anymore. He was like, enough with the touching, enough with the hugging.
So she beat
cuddling.
him up.
Yeah.
Well,
after repeated attempts to cuddle and him rebuffing the cuddle, the dispute into a physical confrontation, grabbed the victim's chest hair.
Ow.
Yanked out chest hair.
No, that's assault right there.
Scratched his face, bit him on the forehead, and broke his phone.
No.
All because he wouldn't cuddle.
After being read her rights, she admitted that she continued to try and touch the victim multiple times after being repeatedly told to stop. She called it cuddling. She wanted to cuddle. He didn't want it. I wonder if that becomes like a sexual assault. If like, hey, no is no more cuddling. I'm only comfortable with this part of sex, not this part.
Well, what is that part? I mean, once we've completed the act, at what point does the act continue?
I think anything beyond the act.
Well,
because let's say he decided,
doesn't that begin the next act, or are we prolonging the previous
act? Let's say this
act?
fella decided, oh, well, that sex was fun. Now I want to have sex with a different part of you, and I'm just going to do it. And she says, no, I don't want that, and he does it anyway. That man would be in trouble. Now this woman is trying to do another thing. And he says, no.
I think you have an actionable thing here. You convinced the DA that she was assaulting you.
Well, she's been arrested for domestic battery. And she's not allowed to have any contact with the victim, especially pulling out chest hair. Oh, miserable.
The cuddling thing. I mean, sometimes it has a place. Others, I'm hungry. I'm going to go make a sandwich.
I mean, usually I'm going to go to sleep.
I'm tired. I've been putting in some work.
And let's face it, my wife doesn't want to cuddle.
But she gets enough of me. You know
it's
what
like,
I mean?
Oh my God, I just had this sweaty monster on top of me.
Get off me.
Like, let's stop. I got to go shower.
But again, neither one of our wives are covered in metal things all on their face. I don't know what that's like. That might be something that's good.
Here's
got magnets.
Another thing that women are doing, spreading these STDs.
It's all the women.
Now this story doesn't specify it was women or men who were doing this.
We know.
I think we know.
Yeah.
It's the women. There were 229 people diagnosed with monkeypox in Ireland.
Yikes.
One of those.
It's an active monkey.
This is how I know it's a woman. Maybe not fair, but science tells me this was a woman.
Like this was one woman responsible for all of this?
No.
Patient zero?
No,
okay.
But she's got to be responsible for a lot of it. One woman, one person, you tell me what you think. One person during the recent outbreak had 75 different sexual partners.
Good Lord.
Before they developed symptoms of the disease. You think that was a man or a woman?
I think that was a dude.
Okay, now what if I told you this? Those 75 sexual partners occurred in 21 days. That's a woman.
I don't think so, man. That sounds like some bathhouse activity to me.
You know any dude who can have sex 75 times in 21 days with 75 different women?
I don't think I think it's two dudes. I think it's dudes on dudes.
You think one dude could have 75 different dudes?
Blue pills, baby.
Man. I think it's a hooker.
What is exactly monkeypox? And how exactly? It's an STD, I guess, right?
Yeah, I guess so. And the youngest patient was 16. The oldest was 68. It says now, it does say all but 3 of the infected patients were men.
Yeah, see, that sounds like some.
98.6% identify as gay, bisexual, or men who have sex with men, which sounds kind of gay to me.
Well, prison.
Okay. All right. Yeah. But I still got to think, man, in that 3.5%, there had to be a chick that slept with
somebody accidentally, you never
75 different dudes in 21 days.
I think that's one communal spot, and a lot of that happened all in the same night.
I guess it could be a gay dude that's like a hooker. I guess that exists.
Monkeypox.
Rash
will go through several stages, including scabs, before healing.
Ugh. Monkeypox cases
have a vaccine.
Goodness. I don't know if has it gotten to Ireland? Ireland's a third world country,
If you have it,
they're still living off potatoes.
Get muscle aches, headaches, evidently a very virile sex life.
Yeah, seriously.
Evidently the blood doesn't go away.
No.
It can look like pimples or blisters, painful and itchy.
Yeah, usually sex partners hate when you have itchy, painful sores.
I'm on the wrong website. I just got some pictures. No, you don't want to see this.
Oh, cool. I'm glad that you've done the research for us.
This at all.
All right, Rob. Let's hit our final break of the week. And by the way, how'd your soccer bet go?
I went 1-1. I lost a first half bet, but most of the scores were in the second half, so I got the over, but I lost the first half under.
So Conor McGregor made a massive soccer bet.
Oh, really?
We'll see where his money's at, where our money's going to go. We'll do that next when we hit the daily lines right here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
For those of us that have been on weight loss programs, this time of year is always tough because all you're talking about is what you're going to eat over the weekend. Is that rich barbecue that we all love so much, and then everything that goes along with it. It's a heavy food weekend. And if you're on some kind of diet, it can be absolutely miserable unless you're on a program that understands you're living life. And if you give up too much for too long, there's no way you can stay on a hard program. That's why Dr. Torres and the Institute for Functional Health have been so successful. Yes, they prescribe a weight loss program that involves a caloric deficit. You will take in fewer calories than you need to, and you will lose weight. It's how you do it that works. And if you've been on fad diets that cut things out completely, if you've been on programs that involve all kinds of giving up, you're not going to be successful, especially over times like this. And Dr. Torres understands that. And that's why he's been so successful. He puts together programs for people like you that understands that nobody is perfect. It's not an easy process, but it's to be the best you've ever done. If you've come to a time where it's time for you to lose weight, call Dr. Torres. Let him explain to you, like he explained to me, why he's been so successful, and give it a shot. You will find that you can live with this program for years. I've been working with him for 8 years. I'm still there, 80 pounds down, still going, but my life has changed for the better, and I'll never go back. I want that for you. Write this number down. It is worth the time. 210-654-4100. Call him right now. Call him right now. Get yourself going. That is the Institute for Functional Health. Get to know Dr. Torres. He's a good friend of mine. He'll change your life, and when he does, I want you to come thank me later.
94.1 FM.
Save money by shopping local for your fireworks at Mr. W Fireworks. At Mr. W Fireworks, we have been doing this for a long time, since 1963. We never charge any hidden fees, and we pass our savings down to the customer. Don't overpay for your fireworks ever again. We are proud to guarantee the lowest prices on fireworks around, and the biggest selection too. We have locations across area. Visit MrWFireworks.com to find us. Shop local and save 50 to 80% more at Mr. W Fireworks.
Come to Generations Federal Credit Union for a great competitive rate on a home equity loan. Consolidate debt, pay off credit cards, renovate your home, and more. With flexible terms, fixed rates, and minimal closing costs. All with easy applications and fast local decisions. Apply today at Generations Federal Credit Union.
Rates and terms subject to approval and may change without notice. Full terms and conditions at mygenfcu.org/homeequity. Equal housing lender.
The biggest pro football contests in Vegas are back. Circa Survivor and Circa Million are now up to a record $16 million in guaranteed prizes. 2 ways to win and no rate. Circa Survivor contestants select one team each week with no point spread. Last the longest to win it all with $10 million guaranteed. In Circa Million, make 5 picks against the spread each week for your share of $6 million guaranteed through quarterly and full season payouts. Enter in Nevada. Play from anywhere. Visit circasports.com for details.
If you missed the Blitz with Jason and Joe, then you missed this.
All the jokes about LeBron sleeping with his teammate's mom. Wow.
Wait a minute. What? Who'd LeBron sleep with?
His teammate's mother.
Oh, you did?
Well, yes.
Ronnie's teammate's mother.
LeBron is sleeping with his teammate's mother. It's not that hard to figure out,
No,
Joe.
I'm trying to, whose teammate are we talking about?
Bronny and LeBron are teammates.
Okay.
LeBron is sleeping with his teammate's mother. He is sleeping with Bronny's mother.
I get you. Okay, all right.
It wasn't that hard to figure out.
On here.
That took way too long to put together. It really did.
I'm like, oh, man.
Sometimes, Ryan Nagel.
Right home with the Blitz. Afternoons 2 to 6 on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
Hey, this is Greedy. Join me today at 10 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Talking about what a crappy husband I am.
Well, it's a significant step.
My wife's in Las Vegas, and I got a tattoo last weekend.
And you didn't tell her.
And I didn't tell her.
I don't think you have to, but that's one of those things that would come up in conversation, I would think.
Yeah, she's like, dude, I'm your wife. Like, you're supposed to tell me before you get a tattoo.
No, I don't have to tell you. I probably should.
Yeah.
I don't have to.
Before I'd told her at one point I was going to do it, but there was no like timeline set.
Well, what was her? Did she say, "Oh, that's cool"?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, then you did your due diligence.
I mean, I don't know. I probably should have just told her. It wouldn't have been a big deal. I don't know why.
But
I didn't.
Getting it on your face was a bold move.
Yeah, it was.
That third eye right in the middle of your head. That's a choice.
It was that or a piercing, and I went, you know what? I'm going full bore here. You're not gonna be able to take this out.
I want to be able to walk through the TSA, and I want to shock them when they have to get that wand out.
That is right.
Is that metal down there? I've never had a reading like that.
Andrew Schultz is playing the Aztec Theater here in San Antonio on September 12th. I would love for you and a friend to go to that show. if you would like to be that person and bring that friend, be caller number 5 right now, 210-656-ESPN. Get yourself a couple tickets to go see Andrew Schultz, The Life Tour, live September 12th at the Aztec Theater. And if you don't win, if you're caller 4 or caller 6, just go to livenation.com and get your tickets there. Rob, you fed me breakfast this morning, and it's throwing off my whole ability to talk and breathe.
We needed a breakfast. Today felt like a Friday. But I didn't expect to have a driver available to go get tacos. So I thought, I will preemptively go get some food. But I was so early, I couldn't have gotten tacos. So I went to the QT and got one of my favorite breakfast sandwiches, and it is a big cheesy mess.
And you met one of our fine listeners there?
Not there. I met I went to the QT this morning. Jeff, I hope you're still driving around. He and I share the road on that side of town. He's one of our good garbage men driving. I think he was a waste management driver. I ran into him at the Valero. He's highly complimentary of you. Loved the show.
Hey.
And it was awesome to run into somebody that early. When somebody yells your name early in the morning,
where were you at?
I was at the Valero, right down the street from my house on Babcock, about 3:45 in the morning, getting ready to come into work. And me and another dude in the whole store, and he looked over and said, "Rob," and I thought, "Do I owe this guy money, or is this a cop?"
Oh.
And he was, "Hey man, you talked about me a couple of weeks back because I was in your driveway, and you said, man, there was somebody in my driveway, and it had to have been." And he goes, "It was me, and I listened to you later in the day, and you were talking about me, and I'm glad I ran into you." So good dude. Thanks for coming in and saying howdy. It makes my day.
Let's take a look at the daily lines, shall we?
I don't know how I'm going to get through today. I got no soccer.
Look at the daily lines with AJ and Rob on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
So Conor McGregor made a wager at the start of the European Championships. He bet 60,000 pounds on Ronaldo to win the Golden Boot.
Really?
Which
that ain't going to happen.
Google up the Golden Boot. What is that? The most goals scored?
I think
or
it's
is
like
it the MVP?
There's the Golden Boot, or is that also the Golden Spike? Spikes? Is that the same award? Anyway,
I think it's the leading goal scorer.
Well, I saw his guy get one yesterday, but I also saw him miss one.
He has scored 0 goals so far in this tournament.
He scored a PK.
Okay. I don't know if that counts.
I don't think it
was
does.
it like was it in extra time?
Yeah, it was extra time PK.
Yeah, I don't know if that counts, but he's not winning this trophy.
No.
But so he said, you know what? I got to step it up. I got to get this money back. How am I going to do it? Well, now he's going to Copa America. He has bet 365,000 pounds on Argentina to win Copa America.
So it's either Messi or Ronaldo.
Yes.
Okay. So he's like me as a soccer fan. He only knows 2 or 3 guys.
Only knows a couple dudes. Yeah. I mean, listen, me too. But they are the reigning World Cup champs. They play Ecuador on Friday, and if they win, he will make 638,000 pounds. So he'll get a return of over £1 million on this thing. Not a bad day at the office.
Since he can't do his day job currently, I hope he's successful in this.
Hey, he's got a broken toe. What's he supposed to do? Bet exorbitant amounts on sports. That's the American way. Are you backing him? You like Argentina, or you hate Latin football?
I don't think it's as good as, or it's different than the Euro version. But I want young Conor to be successful.
Racism.
I'm all the way in, and I want to know exactly how he broke his toe.
I'm guessing it was training, but
I just want to know.
You know what? If I was going to be wrong about anybody, it'd probably be Conor McGregor.
Well, I'm wrong on most everything.
He was trying to do coke off his own toe, and it got stuck in his nostril.
Something
and it
like
snapped.
that. I hope it would be, but it's probably more likely he did something like I would. He got up in the middle of the night to take a leak and kicked the bed and broke his toe.
I like to think he kicked another human in training, and
yeah, we want that. Like his toe was wedged in somebody's eye socket,
and you don't always realize right away. Like I said, I had a fight that lasted 90 seconds. I thought I wasn't hurt at all. And then I got back to the back room. I told the doctor I was fine. I said, he didn't touch me. And then my toe was dangling. It was like a bloody purple mess, just broken to hell. And that was my big toe. Like, This was his pinky toe.
He just got up in the middle of the night and kicked the doorpost.
Pinky toe is like that. Does feel like he stubbed it on the refrigerator or
that
something.
Goes straight to God too. It
Yeah.
hurts all of you and all of God all at the same time.
I hate that. All right. Let's take a look at the lines here. And I did something foolish yesterday, Rob. We talked about the lady basketball games, and I was on this show. I was on the right side of every game. I predicted accurately what was going to happen in every game. I said the Mystics are going to beat the Cameron Brinkless Sparks.
We saw that coming.
I said the Aces are going to smack around the Fever, which they did. I said that the Sky were going to beat the Dream. Remember, we talked about the playoff seeding and like needing to get the Sky into the playoffs and the Dream out. They get the job done. And I said the New York Liberty, the best team, they were going to beat the Lynx. All those things happen. Guess what bet I made?
Well, don't bet first halves.
I bet the first half in the Sparks game because I was looking at the Mystic stats and it's like they were winning almost every game at halftime and then they blow it in the second half. Well, of course, yesterday they did the opposite. They were blowing it at halftime and came back and won. So I got cute.
See, you got cute.
I'm done with that. When I bet ladies basketball now, it's only straight up who's going to win. Not
Don't
getting
get
fancy.
cute with ladies basketball.
No, it's a man's game, and it's not going to happen again. I can tell you that much. All right.
There is money to be made, though, dude.
I think there is. There's
money to be made in the
Hills.
WNBA because favorites are favorites. I mean, there's not a lot of upsets going on.
And by the way, there's only one tonight. Phoenix Mercury -4.5 at Dallas.
I like the Mercury
Dallas
on the road, baby.
Stinks.
Go make some money.
That's what I'm saying. I got to get some back. I got to get some of that back. All right, let's look at Major League Baseball.
Stupid Astros.
Oh, the Astros
Stupid
blew it.
Astros.
I was wrong about the Rangers. I went 1-1 in baseball yesterday. I bet the Mets, and they won 7-2, which sounds like an easy win, but it was in extra innings, so it wasn't all that easy. And then I bet the San Diego Padres to beat the Rangers. I was like, oh, Dylan Cease, he's been so money, and the Rangers can't hit. Well, the Rangers put up 7 runs, and the Padres fell asleep. So Splitsky's on the day. The Rangers and the Padres go at it again today. The Rangers -138 favorites with John Gray on the hill. Adam Mazur on the mound for the Padres, who I believe is a made-up person.
Let's say, tell me of this Adam Mazur.
I've never heard of him before in my life. So it seems like he can't possibly be the right side to bet on. The Houston Astros try to get back on track. Finally lost a game. I thought they were unbeatable. I thought
10 of 12. They're still on fire.
Well, good news for the Astros. Guess who's pitching today? Ronel Blanco.
I'm gonna jump back on this train.
Ronel -110. So we got a pick'em game at Toronto. You say Kikuchi, I say Kakachi. You say Kikuchi, I say Kakachi. But he's pitching for.
I smile when I say it, though.
For Toronto. Total in that game is 8.5.
I want Kikuchi to be good.
I mean, I love that his name
jersey.
is Yusei Kikuchi. I mean, you can't beat that. A name like, what a great name. What a great name.
It is a great name.
Speaking of great names, Shota.
My favorite Cub.
Imanaga is on the hill today. I will not be supporting Shota today. I know of Shota because he's in my fantasy baseball on my fantasy baseball team, but he's sitting on my bench today because he's taking on the Philadelphia Phillies, who are pretty good at baseball. So I'm just going to say, you know what? I hope you do well, Shota, because you're one of my favorites. Shota. I won't have any money on you. I won't have any fantasy riding on you. It's just go out there, be with God, do your thing, Shota, and may the Imanagas be on your side. San Francisco at Atlanta. Good pitching matchup here. Total 7.5. Jordan Hicks for San Francisco is at Atlanta, and Chris Sale, the Braves, -193. Low scoring game. Jordan Hicks is pretty good. Getting like 180 on the Giants, 175 on the Giants. Give me the Giants, man. It just seems like too wide of a number with two good pitchers in a 7.5 total game.
Yes.
It shouldn't be that lopsided of a line.
I'm afraid of that.
Also kind of like Christian Scott and the Mets again, minus 134 at Washington with Mitchell Parker on the hill, who is indeed a made-up person. So Christian Scott been kind of one of the better young pitchers for the Mets. I like the Mets to stay hot. Grimace, I mean, he turned their season around.
It matters.
They're buyers now. They're not going to be sellers. They're keeping Pete Alonso. They're all in, baby. They're making things happen. So I like the New York baseball Mets today. I also like Michael Waka in the Kansas City Royals taking on Tampa Bay. Ryan Pepiot. Kansas City minus 107 at home. Michael Waka been pretty solid lately after a really good year last year. Bad start to this season, has really turned it on the last 4 or 5 starts. So give me Kansas City in this one. And boy, yesterday we talked about the pitching duel between Seattle, George Kirby and Grayson Rodriguez. It was a 2-0 game. We might get similar today. Baltimore sends Dean Kramer to the hill against Logan Gilbert. Dean Kramer and Logan Gilbert, total 7. That is a low total. Seattle minus 116.
I
The
like
favorites in this one. You like the over?
I like Gilbert.
Oh, you like Gilbert. I like Gilbert too. And I think after getting shut out yesterday, I think they'd probably make something happen here. And the New York Yankees, Carlos Rodon, who actually kind of stinks. You have Rodon's ERA in front of you. I know you can usually get good access to it.
Let's see here.
They're minus 175 hosting the Cincinnati Reds. Andrew Abbott pitching for the Reds. I don't know that Carlos Rodon should be a minus 175 favorite over anybody.
He's got a 4.42 ERA, a 126 WHIP, 26 walks, 9-5 record.
I don't know. He got lit up last time I saw him.
That's the high ERA.
I might take a stab with the old Cincinnati Red Legs here. That might be the way to go.
Plus 1.5. You got him at 1.5?
I don't have that lineup in front of me.
I got him minus 135.
I don't mind that. Yeah, I'd probably do that.
Total 8.5.
I think over.
I think so too.
I think over might be the best way to go in this game because Carlos Rodon's been getting lit up. No thanks for me on Carlos Rodon. All right, there you go. That's what's going on in baseball today. Rob, it's been a hell of a hard week. We have busted our asses. We've been grinding, and we deserve a break.
America.
So who's Lady Liberty? That's who.
America.
Hope you guys have a lovely 4th of July. I hope, honestly, I hope you have a lovely 5th of July.
And a 6th and a 7th to boot.
Yeah. And please, by all means, stay away from the airports. Stay off the roads. Just stay at your house by yourself. Don't go out celebrating with people. No, but for real, don't be an amateur. Don't do anything dumb.
You, my brother, travel safe.
Don't drink 20 beers and shoot Roman candles at each other, Rob.
I will do my best not to tell you about it when I do. But for you, go to the Hearth and Fam and have yourself a phenomenal couple of days.
Do my best, friend. Thank you, guys. Blitz coming on at 2. We will see you next Monday. It's been the Morning Huddle right here. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
This is 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.